Daddy.
This should be remixed. If Officer Akimov is watching, this could be the next remix masterpiece. Because just wait till you see what happens here. Oh, Officer Akimov is here. That's beautiful.
Who's your dad? Who's your dad?
I'm joined today by Pastor James David Manning.
Who's your dad? Who's your dad? No, I'm a Christian. Who's your dad? Who's your dad?
I'm joined today by Pastor James David Manning.
Who's your dad? Who's your dad? Long-legged Mac Daddy is the most successful pimp on planet Earth. To reverence the Word of God, to trust it, to preach it, to teach it, loads and loads of money and tons of lives. Loads and loads of money and tons of lives.
What happened in prison that brought you to Jesus? What happened in prison that brought you to Jesus?
Sure. George Bush Sr. and George Bush Jr. have been penetrated by at least 100 men in their anus area. 100,000, 200,000 strong. I didn't do it. That's not my problem. Well, I got down on my knees. I didn't do it, but I was tempted.
Sounds like quite an evening.
Loads and loads of money and tons of lives. Loads and loads of money and tons of lives. Loads and loads of money and tons of lives. Loads and loads of money and tons of lives. Let me say something to you about marketing. Starbucks has done the exact same thing that Coca-Cola has done, except they've done it with semen.
That certainly seems to be a story that has been missed.
Trump was doing this with his personal toilet.
But sinks, toilets, and showers.
Elements of bathrooms.
10 times, 15 times.
Elements of bathrooms.
We're looking very strongly at sinks and showers.
Elements of bathrooms.
10 times, 15 times.
Elements of bathrooms.
What on earth is going on with Trump and toilets? Trump's White House toilet would be clogged. With documents that Donald Trump was flushing down the toilet.
Sure.
Is this the explanation? Is this the explanation?
Big, massive dumps.
Elements of bathrooms.
10 times, 15
Trump was doing this with his personal toilet.
Elements of bathrooms.
and showers. Big, massive dumps.
Elements of bathrooms.
Duty. 10 times, 15 times. Not me,
Elements of bathrooms.
God bless the United States. Thank you very much.
Elements of bathrooms.
Look at that. 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 That is freaking predator right there.
What?
Who thinks he's smarter than you?
What?
Who thinks he's smarter than you?
What?
Who thinks he's smarter than you? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Pac-Man's a loser. Pac-Man's a loser. Pac-Man's a loser. Pac-Man's a loser. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Sure.
Alex Jones is lying to you. That might come as a shock.
Pac-Man.
What?
Pac-Man.
What?
Pac-Man. Jones has fake callers. Jones has fake callers. Jones has fake callers. Jones has fake callers. Look at those eyes, man. That dude is gone, ladies and gentlemen.
Alex Jones is now very, very upset with me.
Look at that. That is a freaking predator right there. Who thinks he's smarter than you, thinks he's better than you, and he's gonna beat you. Pac-Man never talked to the New World Order, because Pac-Man's a loser. Pac-Man's a loser. He's not a knight at the round table.
That's true. I'm not a knight at the round. That actually is accurate.
That dude is gone.
Sir.
If I was telling my children who not to be, it's Pac-Man. Man's smarter than you, he's better than you, and he's gonna beat you.
The evil's growing, it's coming. What you asked for is now at the door, scratching. So open the door and prepare to meet your destiny.
Because Pac-Man's a loser. Man's a loser. That is a freaking predator right there. Who thinks he's smarter than you, thinks he's better than you, and he's gonna beat you.
I have with me David Pakman. He is a progressive host and executive producer of the nationally syndicated radio and TV program, The David Pakman Show.
Sure.
And I wanted to talk to David Pakman. He is a beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. Some beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. David Pakman, he is a beta male. Some beta males.
Can you remind the audience, when you talk about being a beta male and being an alpha male, what are we talking about here?
There are males, most men today,
Yeah.
male, they think and act like a woman. They're emotional, they are mentally off, they have no logic. And that's a beta male. They go along with homosexuality.
Whoa, Jesse, we got it. That's a lot.
LGBTQ.
That's a lot.
They
Hold on.
agree with everything that's raw. Abortion, they think and act just like a woman. A beta male does. But another beta male doesn't, because he's a logical thinking. And they're controlled by the darkness of David Pakman. He is a beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. Some beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. Some beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. Some beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. David Pakman. He is a beta male. Some beta male. David, you're not here to communicate. I really appreciate you coming on. I'm going to let you go. It's a waste of time to talk to you. We're not communicating. You're acting like an idiot.
Because you're asking bizarre questions
You're
and not
acting
answering
like an
any of them.
idiot, and you're wasting my time. I appreciate
ad
you
hominem.
coming. All right, thank
an
you
ad
for
hominem,
coming.
so you know
Goodbye. Goodbye. Let him go. That's a progressive vote. All men who are progressive, or males who are progressive.
Uh-oh. Mangoes?
My bag of mangoes.
Uh-oh. I love mangoes too.
9 cents. Okay. Now that we are up under a Biden's regime, my bag of mangoes now costs $11.99.
That seems like a pretty good deal. A bag of mangoes? Aren't mangoes like $3 each? That's it. I want what, $8 or $11? That sounds good.
The American people alive. And highway robbery is what you're doing. Bring my mangoes back down. My bag of mangoes. My bag of mangoes.
Mangoes?
My bag of mangoes. Bring my mangoes back down. Raise the price of food. Don't raise the price of food. Don't raise the price of food. Bring my mangoes back down.
The Wisconsin crowd identified with the mangoes.
Disproportionately affected the American people. Those who want me to be healthy.
Sure.
what you doing. Don't raise the price of fruit. Don't raise the price of fruit. Don't raise the price of fruit. Don't raise the price of
Mangoes? Well, a very warm welcome, everybody. We are standing by for a marginally more important Trump rally tonight. We are now really in the thick and in the long and in the wide of the 2022 midterms. And maybe one of the most important races is the Pennsylvania Senate race. Over on the Democratic side, John Fetterman, who is my choice, although his last debate performance was not good. He's still my choice from the standpoint of policy. John Fetterman has opened up a pretty powerful lead on the Democratic primary side. On the Republican side, it's kind of tight. And I have the numbers here. A TV doctor named Mehmet Oz has now surged into first place, I guess. And in second place is a businessman, Dave McCormick. Kathy Barnett in third place, Carla Sands well behind, Bartos, the least crazy of the candidates, in fifth place, and then two candidates who I've never even heard of because they don't even make it onto the stage. Bachetto and Gale. They're like in the Toolsy level of polling. So it is actually a fight. And tonight we are, Dr. Oz just spoke, Mehmet Oz just spoke. And Trump is expected to, very powerfully endorse him if he can remember his name. Trump sometimes forgets the names of the people he endorsed. We endorsed JP, right? JD Mandel. But the expectation, the belief is that the MAGA or MAGAT crowd, the maggots, they are not big on Mehmet. So the rumor is like they're going to boo tonight, maybe even as loudly as they booed vaccines last time Trump suggested that they're a good idea to get. So that's going to be tonight, and it's going to be very interesting. Now, we do have a bit of a glitch, which is, as you can see, it's pouring in where are they? I have the weather forecast. It's pouring in Greensburg, Pennsylvania. We have massive dumps of rain. And it's expected to rain for the foreseeable future. And one of the things we've learned is that Trump doesn't like it when it rains. And that may be a saving grace for us from the standpoint of Trump may keep the rally very, very short because Trump doesn't like going out in the rain. It causes real problems for his hair. He just seems not to like it. And so it's having more of a Woodstock feel so far, really than anything else. So welcome, everybody. Bay Photo says via Super Chat, it is very wet from the standpoint of water.
Surrounded by water, big water, ocean water.
Exactly. Super Chat's dumping in. Andrew says, cheers to another evening of unhinged lunacy. Hopefully we get more slides and graphs. Yeah, at Trump's last rally, the crowd was truly riveted when Trump put up an extremely detailed graph with small font. Gamer says that intro is the greatest hits, JP, right, JD Mandel, Billy the Cud, Troth Central, Obama, stupid or a dictator. Right. I actually have a new page. Trump glitches so much and so badly that I now have a glitches page so I can talk through it. Like, for example, once Trump tried to name a company, and here's what he said.
Cephahide.
And then on another day, Trump tried to talk about voting drop boxes.
No more drop box. The drop boxes.
And then on another day, Trump tried to name the country to our south.
Mexico.
And then once Trump tried to name someone from history.
I've had more investigations than Jesse James, Billy the Cud.
One day, Trump got former President Obama's name wrong.
Obama.
And then on another day, Trump got his own name wrong.
Then he went, Donald Trump, yeah, Donald Trump.
And then on another day, Trump made up the name of someone that he thought he had endorsed.
We've endorsed JP, right? JD Mandel.
And then on another day, Trump got the name of his own social media platform wrong.
Troth Central.
And then on another day, Trump got the name of Mitt Romney wrong.
A rhino named Mitt Romney.
And then Trump on one day tried to pronounce Indian names, and it was not good.
Swami Vive Kamunand. Suchin Tendolkar to Virat Kohli.
Yeah. And then Trump signed off.
And God bless the United States.
That's really cool. It's actually, let me see if I can even show this. I have my little stream deck with me today. It's essentially a full page. I don't know if that plays. Let me see if I can. Yeah. It's I have an entire page dedicated just to glitches. That's when you know it's bad. Okay. Oh, I have a new technical element, which I have to tell you, I am so pleased with. Some of you are aware that we're in the middle of building a new studio. And one of the things about the new studio in New York is that during a period of time when I'm in the new studio for now, we're using a green screen because things are happening behind the green screen. And I'm on the green screen right now, which is what's incredible. And some of you noticed that down over there, things weren't looking right. And that's true because of the lights I have here. They were not properly lighting the green screen down there. So I added a third light, and look at the difference it makes. Without that light, can you see how it's a little bit glitchy here? And the reason for that is that the green screen just isn't lit enough there. Let me see if I can even show you. I guess I can't do that. Anyway, so down there, it's a little glitchy. Today, I now have a third floor light, and look what it does. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's just such a, I love lighting. I really do. It's such a great technical element. And then some of you also noticed that the audio was a little echoey here. And so what I did, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, I brought in these sound panels. See this? And if we really wanted to do it right, I could even, if we wanted a more intimate feel, we could set ourselves up like this. This would be for a fireside chat. So we've got that, and I keep it just off camera. Let's see here. There we go. And we've dealt with the echo. I mean, really, it's a dramatic improvement, I guess is what I would say. Okay, so we're back. Anyway, enough tech. People are bored by tech. Other super chats coming in. Is it safe to assume Newsmax isn't covering this? No, Newsmax, I believe, is covering this, actually. I believe they are, and we're monitoring Newsmax very strongly. What's the over-under on Trump blaming the rain on Biden's radical socialist regime? I would say 50-50. It's hard to take maggots seriously when they criticize Biden's cognitive function, given how bad Trump's always is. True. My two favorite glitches are Mitt Romney. Okay, hold on. I think I've got that. Mitt Romney.
A rhino named Mitt Romney.
I like that. And then the Dropbox.
No more Dropbox. The Dropbox is a...
Do you think this Supreme Court leak will give the Democrats the kick they need to keep the crazy conservatives in the minority? That's my hope. If so, do you think enough time will pass for the crazy Republicans will fade away? I just don't know. David, sir, do you think this record-breaking crowd will breach 1 million from the standpoint of attendance? This is the biggest crowd, not just of any Trump rally, of any rally that there's ever been. Let me thank some people. Oh, wow. I missed a lot of thank yous. I want to say thank you for signing up via Twitch Prime to Harry, Boba Fetra, Hippie Chick, Jason Melton, Jen here, Papa Bear Kenzo, David Gilmore, and Chuck Neasy. That puts us at 6. Beautiful. Also, a big thank you to Tyler Stooksbury, who just signed up at joinpacman.com. You're number 7 today. And also Kevin Gouldy sending in another gifted subscription, as well as David Marquis. That puts us at 9, and I'll give away 2 memberships. Dan Katz gets a membership, and Samuel Summerhill gets a membership. If you've been thinking of requesting a membership, today's the ideal day to do it because there's only 652 people waiting ahead of you. Often the number swells, all like Trump's eyes, all the way over 700. We are now down, thanks to so many gifts, to only 652 people waiting for memberships. And you can put your name in at davidpacman.com/free membership. Okay, let's get into some material. Oh, hold on. But there's a few things. Check out Tesla's 2021 impact report. Okay. Since you're doing greatest hits, can we get Trump's Sir sound? I actually now have, I call this Mega Sir.
Sir, 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 sir.
Yeah. Larry says, hey, David, here's what I was talking about the other day. Prepare thyself. So glad I've been able to catch most of your live streams anymore. The wiki page for positive anymore. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's not a grammatical element I use, Larry. Sir, will the machines in your new studio be sued by the crackhead pillow salesman?
We're doing a class action lawsuit against all machines.
Andrew says, David, I can't give God a super chat for raining so heavily on these people, so you can have it. Love the show. Thank you, Andrew. I really appreciate that. That's an important thing. Okay, let's get to some stuff. Okay, do you guys want stuff? Here are our friends over at the Good Liars. This is our friend. Again, I don't know what this guy's real name is. I know his handle on social media is Dav Ram. I don't know his name, but he does great interviews. This is one of my favorites. You guys might have seen the recent audio rather, of Kevin McCarthy saying, we've got to get rid of Trump. We've just got to get rid of the guy. And Dav Ram and the Good Liars found this gentleman, and I use that term loosely, who believes that the McCarthy audio is made up, and the guy lacks the cognitive capacity to explain what he means by made up. Check this out. This is actually brilliant work. Check this out.
People are asking about January 6th over the last couple of days. It's been in the news a lot.
Why don't they make a big deal out of Hunter Biden?
Right.
It seems to me like that's a lot bigger deal than January the 6th.
Kevin McCarthy was on tape saying he was going to ask Donald Trump to resign. Why do you think he did that?
I don't know if that's even real. But
What do you mean?
I don't know. I don't even know if it's real or not. But if it is...
What do you mean that it's not real? Do you mean...
I don't know if that tape's even real or not.
By not real, what do you mean?
Probably made up or something.
Now, if it were me, obviously the tape's real. But if I'm going to claim it might not be real, I would be prepared to say it could be a deep fake. It could be McCarthy's voice, but it's chopped up. It could be that it's not even really McCarthy. It's a voice actor or whatever. But this guy's like, it might not be real. Like, but what do you mean it might not be real? He's like, I don't really know.
Made up like how?
I don't know.
Oh, man, that's bad. That's really, really bad. Just scary stuff. Super chats keep coming in. Hold on, I think I missed one. David, I need to know those physiatrists and or doctors who spoke to you about Trump. Did they say if the Sir stories are a side effect of his alleged mental problem?
Sure.
No, they did not. They didn't mention that. Alan says, I just closed on a house in Marjorie Greene's district this morning to be closer to family. Tell me it's going to be okay. It's probably going to be okay. Yeah. I guess. I mean, I don't know. Thanks to Christy and Joy Kit for getting a weird hair thing, for the Twitch Prime subscriptions, numbers 10 and 11. Welcome, everybody. So glad that you're here. I am very, very briefly made it onto MSNBC. You might remember I recently interviewed a guy named J.R. Majewski. He's a Trump-endorsed Republican who won his primary. In a little compilation, Ari Melber on MSNBC featured me for about a second. You've got it. If you blink, you'll miss it, guys, okay? Check this out.
Right now, we're getting into how these new primaries this week are advancing what looks like a takeover of the GOP by conspiracy theorists and January 6th rally attendees.
I decided to raise as much money as I could within a 3-day period to take as many people to D.C. as I could.
I'm the only candidate in this race that the president has admiration for.
Radical groups like Antifa and BLM were funding riots and fueling fires to burn down our cities.
Everybody hold your blinks so you don't miss me on MSNBC, okay? If you blink, you'll miss it. Please, eyes open.
While left-wing liberals paid their bail.
I think the election was stolen personally.
I'm willing to do...
That was it. Oh man, the royalty checks are going to be coming in, guys. Very, very quick moment there. How many gift subscriptions have been given so far? Okay, let's find out. You guys want to guess how many subscriptions do you think have been gifted ever on my website? We only put it in place like I think about a month ago. I'm going to look it up right now. 0. Well, no, it's obviously not 0. 350. 350 may not be bad, actually. There's a lot of people here who might be pretty close. Sinsu wants to know what's the total number of gifts, including Mocking Owl, who just gifted one, which is number 12 today, and that one goes to Michael Keene. The total number of gifts is, let's see, I've got to go into a lot of people in the 250 range. Let me see. The actual number gifted is status type. Okay. Gifts purchased. Let's take a look here. 315. 315 memberships have been gifted since we launched it, which isn't bad. It's a fraction of what's been gifted on Twitch because Twitch from the beginning has had those elements. But 315 is actually, I got to be pretty happy with that. Yeah, Jen here on Twitch is in 5th place and is within striking distance of moving into 4th place, which is pretty wild. All right, let me continue. Let's look at some things happening at the Trump rally. Ron Filipkowski has a bunch of different things. Here's here's soaking wet Mehmet Oz talking about, I guess, firing Fauci. I don't know.
Trump has been tough on my biggest opponent, Dave McCormick. He said that he's pro-China and he will let them eat our lunch. Do you want them to eat our lunch? No. We're better than that. And we're going to make sure that we stand up in their face and we'll fight back. Are you willing to fight China? Yeah. Will you fight for our kids in our schools? Yeah. Are you going to fight back to keep our borders clean? Yeah. You're going to fight back to make sure we don't have Fauci. You want to fire Fauci? Yeah. I thought that would get you worked up. This election...
Yikes. Pretty bad. Dinesh D'Souza in an oversized coat and white hoodie, looking as disheveled as I've ever seen him, spoke at the rally.
And paid ballot trafficking. In some states, it is legal.
Ballot trafficking. They're just making stuff up now. Ballot trafficking. Matt Gaetz was found with underage ballots stuffed in his boxers. It was crazy.
To give someone else your ballot and have them drop it off.
They trafficked
Usually
it.
The conditions of that are kind of specified. They're clear. In Georgia, for example, you can give your ballot to a family member, or if you're in a confined facility, you can give it to a caregiver. But in no state is it legal. And
Yikes. A lot of really weird stuff there. Let's see if we have anything else from the rally. Pillow announces at the rally that Doug Wardlow, his general counsel for the pillow business, is running for attorney general.
Said, hey, would you like a job with my pillow? So he came
Did
out.
he just say mine pillow? Did he say mine pillow? I need to hear that again.
Said, hey, would you like a job with my pillow?
Is it
So he
mine?
came on with my pillow. He's been amazing. And with actually Lindell Management, which manages all my other stuff. But he is now part of these preliminary injunctions. And
preliminary injunction.
And I want to talk. So, Doug, why don't you? Absolutely. You can.
Thank you, Mike. Absolutely.
I gotta rest my voice.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike. Very good.
Finally, I can ask questions because I don't even have to ask Mike questions. He's ready to go. So
Some people call it uppers. Pillow says every dime of his pillow company takes in is now spent to reinstate Trump. That seems dumb.
He's now, I mean, you name it. It's everything's on sale today. This is, this is a very important day. All these rallies are so important because it gets the word out. So if you guys want to support both RSBN, myself, my pillow, everything I'm doing.
Towels that work. Are towels that don't work a big issue? Like, I guess I could think about once I was at a very cheap hotel and the towels were kind of like cardboard. I guess in a sense they didn't work, but I didn't know non-functioning towels was an issue.
We're doing a class action lawsuit against all machines.
Okay. anti-Oz mood at the rally.
First, you've got the Oz race. We talked about that earlier. What's your thoughts on that race? I mean, if you don't want to share them right now, I'm just curious, as someone who's running for another office here in this state, is Dr. Oz best for the state of Pennsylvania?
I'm not there. I'm not there with Oz. The left-wing statements are too recent.
Wow. I love this. That I love to see. Okay, so that's Ron Filipkowski. We're going to look at some other clips in a moment. I do want to say thank you over on Twitch to Snordsy Winklebottom R Rhino for the Twitch Prime subscriptions, putting us at 15. I also want to say thank you to Bryce Arnold, who just gifted a membership on my website, as well as Jennifer DeVoe. Those are numbers 16 and 17. The winners of those free memberships are Karen Fritz and Chris Amos. If you'd like a free membership, do not email me. Do not leave a voicemail. Do not send a special delivery carrier pigeon. Just go to davidpakman.com/free membership. Let's look at some of these super chats that are coming in. Larry says it shouldn't be used by anyone. Okay, more of this English stuff. Neil Postman was his mentor and friend. Okay, wow, that's a lot. That's a lot going on there. Jake says it's been raining here in Pittsburgh all day. Hope it's just as bad there and the failed ex-president doesn't show. I think it'd be amazing if Trump does like a 5-minute rally because he hates the water. Hold on. I think I actually have a bunch of different water clips.
Surrounded by water, big water, ocean water.
Yeah. That might be it as far as water.
Dumps.
Oh, yeah, dumps of water. Okay. David, your video about Candace Taylor was terrifying. She's a new level of nuts. Yeah, if you haven't seen that, I encourage you to check it out. I don't usually comment on videos of Trump supporters being interviewed, but that made me sad. I have the same speech problems as the guy from the interview on The Bad Liars. I don't think that guy had a speech problem. He just didn't know what he was talking about. He was saying the video might be fake without even knowing what that meant. Benjamin dropping in a huge $40 super chat says, David, thank you for highly improving my critical thinking skills on politics these last few days. Seriously. On that note, do you think the Roe v. Wade law has a chance to stay as is? It seems pretty clear that they're getting rid of Roe v. Wade. So at this point, I cannot say it's likely to stay as is. No, I don't think so. But, you know, it ain't over till it's over, I think is what the kids these days say. Let's watch a few other things that I have, other clips from the rally so far. I guess J.D. Vance spoke. He's just gross. Oz asks if we're going to keep our borders clean.
Face and we'll fight back. Are you willing to fight China? Will you fight for our kids?
Oh, we saw that clip earlier. You know what this rain is? This is God's tears that Biden is president.
You know what this rain is? This is God's tears.
Ooh, terrorist audio.
Joe Biden is in the White House. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Biden doesn't belong in the White House. He belongs in a nursing home, and Kamala Harris belongs in a nut house.
Kamala. Jeez. Yeah, because this guy sounds with it, right? The guy, I'm listen to these clips and tell me if this sounds like a gentleman who's with it.
We've endorsed JP, right? JD Mandel. No more drop box. The drop box is
Sepha Hyde.
a rhino named Mitt Romney. Truth Central. Obama.
Anyway, Donald Trump. Yeah, Donald Trump.
Mexico. And I've had more investigations than Jesse James, Billy the Could.
Yeah, Billy the Could. That guy definitely sounds like he's with it. So something we'll be looking at very, very strongly. That may be it as far as clips from the rally. I mean, the rain is really making it not as raucous of an event as it usually is. Let's see over here if we've got anything from the rally. Here's another Mehmet element, which I don't think we really need. Vance, we don't care about today. We already did this one. A lot of people retweeting that. COVID nonsense from Oz. The entire crowd sitting. Yeah, I think that Oz may get booed when Trump brings him up. I think it could very much happen. Wow. Really weird videos. But I guess Republicans don't like him because he sort of like seemed to say vaccines are good. That can make you persona non grata. Yeah. Let's listen in a little bit.
I thought we'd take a few minutes to talk about the history of the media in this country. And
that's okay. We're not going to listen to Right Side Broadcasting tell us the history of the media. That I'm going to say, that's a no for me, dog. Thanks to RSG for the Twitch Prime subscription. You're number 18. I very much appreciate that. Now I see when I looked at that TikTok video, a lot of people are saying TikTok videos are just bad. We're actually doing really well on TikTok. From the standpoint of the David Pakman Show, we now have 101,000 followers on TikTok. We haven't gotten to 100,000 followers this quickly on literally any platform we've ever been on. And we're really growing our audience. It's a younger audience than we have on any other platform. We're reaching new people. Some of our clips there have 500,000 views. So I'm a fan. I'm a fan of TikTok. Are your TikToks and YouTube Shorts the same content? Yes, they are. How many texts have I pointed at on TikTok? Yeah, I've never done that. That's a little bit cringy, I admit. Okay, let's go to a few voicemails while we have time here. Hear from some folks in the audience and see what is on people's minds, I guess, is what we would say. There's a lot of really crazy voicemails I get. Let's see.
Hi, David. You seem like a relatively fit and healthy guy. Seems like your body mass index is probably in the normal range. You usually sell a lot of like supplements and kind of plant-based products, which I believe is.
I sell supplements? Or no, or this guy says he uses supplements? I don't know what he's talking about.
The healthiest diet that has a lot of plants. So my question for you is, what is up with this cheese butter? I mean, like, what are you trying to do to me, David? I'm already fat.
Yeah, that stuff is pretty good. That I listen, let's not allow the war on drugs people to find out about that cheese butter because that stuff is genuinely addictive. Let's not even say anything else about it because it could. I don't want to get anybody addicted to that who shouldn't. And they're a great advertiser. It's actually great stuff. All right, let's see what else we've got here. Comment on my interviews with conservatives. Man, this one weird hair here, I'm really having an issue with it.
Hey, David. I'm a new fan. I'm enjoying your interviews with these conservatives running for office, these Trump conservatives.
Thank you.
I would like it if you would ask them a question, since they seem to believe that the election was stolen in Georgia. I don't know how they believe that. It would be good if you could ask them if they accept the results of Marjorie Taylor Greene's election.
Yeah, no, I know the idea, which is like, how can you say if you accept all the other races, then how is it only the Trump Biden was rigged? Yeah, that's a fair thing, and we've dealt with that. Jack says, David, sir, can you say hello to my girlfriend Erica, who's watching? Hi, Erica. And 2, play the Dr. Oz ad on guns. Oh yeah. I've heard of that. Let's see, Oz guns. Let's see if we can find it. I haven't seen it.
My father taught me how to handle my first gun. I taught my son Oliver how to do the same. I've been shooting and hunting my whole life. So when people say I won't support guns, they're dead wrong. Boom! Other conservatives know that I'm strong on the Second Amendment. Ted Nugent, Rick Perry, President Trump.
Nugent knows about it. Wow.
But our Second Amendment is not just about hunting. It's about our constitutional right to protect ourselves from
constitutional
intruders or an overly intrusive government. So as your next U.S. Senator, I will fight for our constitutional rights.
Ooh. It doesn't seem like like he feels super at ease in that. It seems a little bit forced. Thanks to Reality Defiler and Alpha Omega for the Twitch Prime subscriptions. I appreciate that. Alpha Omega asks, could the Roe v. Wade leak be a tactic to potentially disqualify a sitting judge? If Republicans get the midterms and retake Congress, they could stall nominations until 24 in the hopes a Republican nominee wins the White House, further swinging the court to 7-2. I don't think so. Is Dr. Oz's statement that he has foreign policy experience because his show is on in different countries better or worse than Palin's statement in 2008? Wow, that's really tough. Palin said something like her foreign policy experience is that you can see Russia from Alaska. Oz said he has a lot of knowledge of other countries because his show is on in 100 countries. Damn, they're both pretty bad. I don't know which one is worse. David Sir, can you post a link to that fabulous Elements of Bathroom song in the chat? My children are begging to hear it right now. Man, I don't know. Do you mean this one?
Trump was doing this with his personal toilet.
I actually don't know how to find it. I don't know how to find it. I'll have to look. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm just not sure. I want to say thank you to Danielle Dantzler for subscribing at joinpacman.com and giving away the membership. That membership goes to Suzanne McNeil. Suzanne, congratulations. You have just earned, by not doing anything, actually, you've earned a free membership and you've done nothing for it, which is totally fine. You don't need to do anything. That's the whole point. Would you say if Trump endorsed McCormick, he'd run away with it? And since he chose Oz, who is too recently left-wing, it gives the Democrats, John Fetterman, a better shot. Let's just wait and see. I don't know. It would be great. Philly and Pittsburgh have the biggest voter base in the state, so why are these candidates avoiding the big cities? Good question. I don't know. It's a fair question. I want to say a thank you. Wow, a lot of gifted subs coming in. Giovanni Castro has just gifted a membership. That is number 22 today. The lucky recipient there is Bobby Graves. Bobby Graves. Let's do a couple other voicemails. Let's see who I've got here. Voicemails.
Hey, David, it's Franny from Chicago. I'm a super fan.
Wow, I don't think I've ever had a super fan before.
And I just wanted to say thank you for explaining inflation rates, what raising the interest rates really is, and why it's important and why it affects us and how it's a double-edged sword. All of it was just so fucking great.
Whoa.
Thank you for that segment, and please keep segments like that coming.
Love it. Here's another one.
Hey, David. So I don't know if anybody is really showing enough appreciation for the title of your videos. I think they're absolutely hilarious.
Nobody is showing enough appreciation for the titles of my videos. It's correct, and it's depressing. I need more appreciation for the titles I come up with.
Especially the ones with Trump. So Sweaty Trump, I'm reading these off of the computer right now. Sweaty Trump interview goes horribly wrong. Sweaty, dangerous cult leader Trump. Sweaty Trump's delusional interview horrifies the world. Trump incoherent, glitches badly during sweaty fiasco.
That one's pretty. Glitches badly during sweaty fiasco. You know what's really funny? So we'll sometimes have like a review with our YouTube rep, and it's like it's all very professional. Like he'll fly in with a laptop to make a presentation to me, and sometimes he'll go like clips with high engagement. He'll go, one of the things I noticed about this clip, Trump mispronounces everything as Indian crowd flees, was that people were staying through to the end of the video, and that's really interesting. And I just can't even take seriously the fact that we're having like it's up on when I went to Google, the titles were up on a huge screen. They were like, Trump glitches badly at incoherent fiasco did a lot better than Fox News silent as ivermectin in shambles. It was a very interesting thing. Seeing these things in a professional context is weird, that's for sure. Thanks to Good Baker, and also thanks to Alpha Omega for gifting 4 subscriptions. 4 + 1 is 5. 5 + 22 is 27, which I really appreciate. Also want to say thanks to Donald Richards, who just gifted one on my website. That one goes to Zach Bassam. Would you say that one I answered already. Hey, fellow Canadians, who are the best YouTubers for Canadian politics? I will leave that to the Canadians to answer. I cannot say for sure. Let's listen to a couple other ones.
Slurring disheveled Trump's worst rally in years. I mean, I don't know if I mean, this is not satirical, by the way. I genuinely think they're actually just really funny. I'm a big fan of the show. But I don't know if you name these titles, someone else does, but
I am coming up with the titles.
I
Yeah.
think they're hilarious. I like this little component of comedy that you add to the titles of the videos and sometimes to the videos themselves. So
Yeah, sometimes people will go, David, some of these titles are a little too exaggerated, but like that's exactly the point. It's just a joke now. That's all it is. Sometimes people take themselves and what I do a little too seriously. It's at the end of the day, it's just like I'm just giving my opinions, and some people are interested in that, and some aren't. But like, David, you shouldn't really mention that Trump was swollen in the titles. It's not becoming of a journalist. And it's like, I'm not a journalist. I'm just a commentator. That's all it is. Okay. Let's listen to a couple of others. Any moment, Trump will be speaking.
So I noticed that you changed your wardrobe shirts, skew of color, and I
a skew of colors.
Sent you an email about that, which was really cool. So it looks like your eyes are like Gatorade color. Like you make me want to take that icy whitish Gatorade and the blue ice and mix it together, and it's
I have green eyes. That's weird.
I don't know, like a gray kind of feather or something like that.
Whoa.
Getting
a little thirsty in here.
Sky vibes, which is cool. On behalf of the art committee, that's a proud moment of accomplishment for myself. I actually scored 106 on the IQ test.
Ooh, that's nothing to be ashamed about, Whitney. 106 is a beautiful score. Beautiful. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so that's Whitney. Hello Kintu asks, do you think you'll ever suffer from the immense jealousy of never being a Trump gold card owner? Yeah, Don Jr. was offering Trump gold cards recently. If Trump wins 24, do you think the blue states succeed? Well, I assume you mean secede. But if Trump wins in 24, I would bet on blue rather than red states to succeed, for sure. Adam says, hey, David, former Republican and huge fan of the show. Will a true progressive ever become president of the United States? I believe the answer is yes. Although I don't know when. But someday, a true progressive will indeed be president. People are telling me Ron Filipkowski posted a few more things from the rally. No, I'm not seeing that. Let's see. Hold on. Trump rally. Let's see what we can find. So we looked at Pillow already. We looked at that clip. We looked at that. Front Row Joe says he arrived at the Trump rally a week ahead of time.
Did you get here yesterday? And who of your friends got here the earliest for today's rally?
I don't know who got here the earliest, but the earliest is a week ago. So Monday, Rick Frazier, actually. He's been here a week on Monday. So that's
logical. Mike Lindell.
The greatest revival for Jesus in history. God bless you all.
Oh, God. It really looks like Woodstock. That is wild. Trump supporters boo Dr. Oz.
That's how I feel.
Wow. This is a particularly depressing rally. I don't know why. Maybe it's the weather there, but it's extra depressing. Yeah, it's what else do you show up a week early to? Even if I'm going to a great conference, I show up the day before, A week early. Trump was at a different rally a week ago. Very strange. Very, very strange. If you're just joining us, this rally is in Pennsylvania. We will see whether Trump pronounces it Pennsylvania or Pennsyvlania or some other way. I mean, at this point, the pronunciation stuff is weird.
A rhino named Mitt Romney. No more drop boxes in Mexico and
Yeah. So we'll have to watch that. Let's see what. Oh, we were doing voicemails. Yeah, let's do just a couple more. I'm not going to belabor the voicemails because a lot of them are pretty weaponized, but sometimes there's a good one. Oh, here's Trollman. Let's see what he has to say. Trollman actually does gift subscriptions to people, so I'll entertain it.
Hey, David, it's Juan. So about this abortion situation, I want to add a piece to the puzzle, and that is the whole thing of equity. So if a woman wants to have an abortion or wants to have the child,
okay,
she can choose freely without any issue.
Okay.
However, if the man or the person that participated in that pregnancy doesn't want to have the child, or would like to have that child aborted, it doesn't seem like he has much leverage.
Leverage to force a woman to have a medical procedure? Is it normal for men to have leverage to force women to have medical procedures? That's kind of weird.
She could override his wishes and decision and force him to have the child and be responsible for it.
Did she force him to impregnate her? This is weird.
Both parties were involved in the behavior that led to that reproduction of the child.
Right.
So how is that fair?
Fair.
I don't think it's fair. It doesn't apply to me because I don't have irresponsible relationships. But
that's not surprising to me, Juan. With all due respect, it's based on your phone call history. It's not shocking to me that you're not in a relationship right now. That isn't coming as a surprise.
Is it fair that the woman calls all the shots when it comes to whether or not she has a child?
I think what you're asking is, should the man be able to force the woman to have a medical procedure? Which is weird. Man, that's something. Juan, we love you, buddy, but wow. Thanks to Nasty Questions for the Twitch Prime subscription. You're number 29 today. Pappy says, sorry, do you believe they will succeed from the union? Pappy, the word is secede. S-E-C-E-D-E. That was the joke, but that's it. We're moving on, but I don't think so. Thanks to Peggy for the super chat. Do you think Oz's drinkable silver could alleviate Trump's swollen eyes? It's possible, yeah. Regarding student loan forgiveness, can't we condition the forgiveness amount to some service-based program like community volunteering? Sure, you could do any number of things. And thanks, Peggy, for another super chat. Very much appreciate that. Thank you. Let's listen in a little bit.
740. Talk about a spiritual awakening. Mike Lindell has talked about this so much, and this is his passion for this country is not only to save this country, but to lead people to Christ and to lead people to the recovery, the Lindell Recovery Network.
Recovery?
That we want to encourage everybody right now to go to mypillow.com, mystore.com. Those are two great websites that not only support Mike Lindell, but also supports us as well. Enables you to buy some quality products, not only at a discounted price, because when you put that promo code RSBN, you'll get a special discount on that. Also, there's a buy one, get one. Who doesn't love a buy one, get one?
I love it. Buy one, get one.
I love it. I don't care if it's Big Macs. I'm getting a buy one, get one.
Even something as crappy as a Big Mac, I guess he's saying. He'll take it. Wow, what a grift. What a grift. A lot happening. Oh my God, look at this. Bed sheet set, Giza Elegance My Pillow, Roll and Go Anywhere My Pillow, the 6-piece towel set. Wow. I'm going to be in recovery just from having all that product in my house. That is really something else. Other super chats coming in. Wow, Peggy is dumping in $10 super chats. I really appreciate that, Peggy. Drinkable silver. Yeah, that's something else. Let's see if we can find one more voicemail. Oh, boy.
Hey, David Peckman. My name is Jay Yang.
This is Troy York. I just am so bored by Troy. It's hard to find a more pedantic caller than Troy. You guys want to hear one more call from Juan the Troll Man? Just because his last one was so interesting? Should we listen to one more? I'm curious.
Hello, David Packman.
Whoops, I thought the phone number is almost the same as the Troll Man, but it's not. Okay, let's listen.
My name is Ginger, and I live in Ron the Nazi territory.
Ooh.
And I was wondering if you had read the article put out by CNN about the cops and agencies being able to track people who are searching for abortion information or
No, I haven't seen that.
Plan C pill. They're talking about getting that information in order to prosecute people.
Huh.
Just thought that was very Putinish, and wondering if you had any news on that.
I don't. And the voice to text translated Putin-ish as poop mesh, which is a weird translation. That is something else, huh? Okay. So that happened, and that's a whole thing. Super chat's coming in. Evil Vacuum says, David, sir, love the show. It's like a lighthouse of logic on the foggy shoreline of madness. Beautiful imagery. That is some really nice imagery there. Well done. Truly well done. I want to say thank you to Donald Richards, who just signed up on my website, joinpacman.com, and David Kausler, who also just signed up on my website, putting us at 31. Kyle says, David, sir, wanted to thank you for your stellar performance via Cameo, for what was a very early Father's Day gift from my wife. Much appreciated. Yeah, I opted into a Mother's Day discount on Cameo and got a ton of early Father's Day gift requests, which is interesting. Do we think Trump will bail because it's raining? Because he really doesn't go out in the rain.
RSB to 998899. Information will be on the screen as well. American Heart for Gold. MyPillow.com. We are live from Greensburg, Pennsylvania on a rainy Friday night. We're glad you're joining us. The president is scheduled to take the stage here shortly.
It's the former president.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Thanks to your support, you've helped make MyPillow become one of the fastest growing companies in. We're doing a class action lawsuit against all machines. Thousands of jobs right here in the USA.
Why are his pants so low? Did you guys see that? That was weird. His pants were like very, very low.
And I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
That's why I invented MyPillow. My patented fill adjusts.
It's interesting to call it an invention. You know, that's kind of interesting. Anyway, okay, let's continue. It looks like we are getting very, very close to Donald Trump speaking, and this is a rally to endorse Dr. Oz, and it is expected that the crowd might boo Dr. Oz. So that's something to keep in mind. They do not seem to be taking to Dr. Mehmet Oz, and we'll see. The expectation is that there's going to be a big boo session. Wow, super chats are just dumping in. David, sir. Oh no, this one I read. This man should go to the maintenance court so he can see women taking fathers to court because the father refuses to pay maintenance. Oh, I guess that must be what they call child support in South Africa. How can a woman force the father to take responsibility for the child? Right. David, can you clip yourself saying cheese butter and use it as a reaction audio for anything positive? I really enjoy the way you say cheese butter. Thank you. Is there a BOGO situation going on at McDonald's right now? I'm hungry. Love the show. What if the woman doesn't want the child and the man does? What does BOGO mean? Anybody know what BOGO is? I hope that's not racist. Anybody know?
Huge night for Trump-backed Texas candidates back in March.
Oh, buy one, get one. Buy one, get one. Okay, got it. Oh my God! Look, it's the Pawn Stars guy.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to Right Side Broadcasting Network. You are watching live with RSBN. We're T-minus 13.
Would you say RSBN is the channel with where the people who talk have the worst diction and pronunciation of anyone? I think it is. I think it's even worse than OAN, where they like visibly, it's like there's a lot of mush mouth stuff.
See here in just a second what that did in Ohio, and Alex and I want to talk about, do we think it's going to have possibly the same effect here in Pennsylvania? But before we do that, Alex, tell us about Ohio. What did you notice?
Well, what I noticed in Ohio is J.D. Vance, a guy who had a couple of comments that he had said about President Trump that
We've endorsed JP, right? JD Mandel.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway. The super chats are coming in so fast I can barely keep up with them. He's former failed presidential candidate, Donald J. Trump. Right. If Dr. Oz is booed in a few minutes, it will be seen as a humiliation for Trump, as another of his endorsements will have flopped. Let's hope. Trump does not like to go out in the rain because the rain ruins his hair. Remember how he dropped the umbrella because the wind was blowing at his hair? Yeah. What are your views about how Dinesh D'Souza went from being a semi-respected debate interlocutor with the likes of Hitchens to being a MAGA advocate? I never remember D'Souza being considered equivalent to Hitchens. I just don't have a recollection of that. I apologize. I can't comment because I don't know that I agree with the premise. Anybody remember D'Souza being seen like a Hitchens type figure? I don't know that. Dr. Oz spoke earlier and was not booed. There was actually some booing. But we're going to see. We're going to see what happens. If you're just joining us, we are moments away from the rally. Moments away. Trump's scheduled to speak in 10 minutes. I do want to ask everybody for a favor. As many of you may know, we are a program that really depends on your support, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. I'm just going to mention, I would love for you to sign up on my website. You know, we have all these different platforms where people can support us, and they just take slices, 10, 20, 30, 40%. We have a membership program on our website. We just pay 2.9% to swipe credit cards virtually, and all the other money stays in-house. We've lost other means of support on a whim. The YouTube algorithm will demonetize us. The Facebook algorithm will say we're doing anti-vax, which of course we're not. Twitch will ban us for showing an image during a trial, which I won't even mention. But our membership program is what works. So I would love for you to sign up at joinpacman.com. We have this coupon code OBAMNA. OBAMNA. You have to spell it correctly, incorrectly. Right? You know, OBAMNA. You will get a discount. I will shout you out and thank you. The bar will fill up hopefully to 100. And if you already have a membership, there's now a feature on our website where you can give one away. We right now have 666. Ooh, that's ominous. There are 666 people waiting for free memberships right now. So be aware that they will not go to waste. They will not go to waste. You can also buy a pillow. You could go to My Pillow, but I suggest do the thing on our website. It's a beautiful thing, and everybody will get a thank you. For example, Amber Fritz gifting one, and Kevin Gouldy gifting one. Those are numbers 32 and 33. Those go to Sebastian Mix and Claire Gilmore. Now we only have 664 waiting, which is still a hell of a number. I have satanic memberships coming in here, yeah. David, sir, do you ever reference the Ad Fontes media bias chart? We looked at my position on it and we found it totally arbitrary and not really accurate, but it made for an entertaining 5 minutes on the stream. Make of it what you will. Trying again to say thank you to whomever bought a subscription to the David Pakman Show, as I surely appreciate it. Yeah, it's a great thing because people will ask for a free membership and a few days will go by and all of a sudden they get an email and it says, sir, you've been given a free membership. And people just love it. People love it. David, based on your own political views, who do you think is the least insane option from the Republicans in Pennsylvania? Bartos. I think Bartos, he's the one who we jokingly called the boring guy during the debate. I think Bartos is the best choice. If it has, Fetterman's the best choice, but he's a Democrat. From the 5 Republicans, I think Bartos is the best choice. If you said it's going to be one of them, I would say it's Bartos. I have to go to work at 3 a.m. Sorry, David, I can't watch this until tomorrow. Well, apology accepted, Peggy. And very much appreciate your support. Very, very much. I want to say thanks to Alpha Omega for signing up on my website and Jackson Godsey, numbers 34 and 35. Also, Brian Wrestler gifting one. That's number 36. And that one we're giving away to Anthony Miramontes. Is there a mosh pit going on here?
I think Dr. Oz is from Western PA. I'm not sure which district he's in
I want to look it up
for sure, but Western PA is a more conservative area, especially more so than the East.
Oh, boy. I want to say thanks to David Dinar, who just gifted a membership. That's number 37. The recipient there is Political Peroni. Okay. Political Peroni is the recipient there. Also, thanks to Evan Krieger for getting a membership for himself at joinpacman.com. What other coupon codes are there? I mean, you could use the coupon code SAD Trump, but I think Obama's the funniest code.
Obama!
By far. Like not even close. People want one more voicemail. All right, let me see if I can find a good one for you.
Hey, David, I can't tell if it's just me or is that like 50,000 people in the crowd? I think it's record breaking.
Oh, I don't think there's ever been a crowd like this. The Beatles never had a crowd like this. Not even close. This is just it's an incredible crowd, and it's electric as well. It's an absolutely electric crowd. David, sir, have you seen James Austin Johnson's Trump impression on Saturday night? Is that the new guy? I think I have seen it. Let's search for it. If that's the new guy, it's very good. Is this the guy?
Dude, you got Momoa and everyone's doing flips and it's very Game of Thrones.
Yeah. That guy's really good. Let me see if I can find one. James Austin Johnson, Trump, one with better audio. He's really, really good. Man, I'm having trouble actually finding one now, though. Oh, wait, is it here? Oh, yeah, here it is.
And now, Mr. President, you never actually campaigned with Glenn Youngkin, did you?
Well, no, I never did. Glenn, don't you dare. Don't go anywhere. Don't you dare, Glenn. You need to hear this. You know, I was never there with Glenn. You know, there. I was never there.
Wow. Okay, so it's mostly a music segment, but we at least you get the impression. That guy's very, very good. He's excellent. He does the weird throat thing. Yeah, exactly. No, he's excellent. Okay, memberships are dumping in like I've maybe never seen before. Thanks to James Biard and Michelle and David DeCamp, numbers 39 and 40. Also want to say thanks to, these are gifters now, Eddie Padilla. Oh, man. Brian Wrestler. We're about to give some gifts. Another one from David Dinar. Joe Rader sending a gift. Emma Jean Miller. That's 5 gifts, puts us at 45. The recipients are, let's see here. Things are moving pretty quickly here. Flora Garcia, Joseph Tate, Marissa Rader. Wait, hold on. Joe Rader gifted one, and Marissa Rader got one. I wonder if they're related. That'd be weird. Theo Van Rossum, who asked for 2 memberships, so you get none. Sorry, Theo, you can't request him double. And Sal Martini. Very much appreciate that. Oh my God, these are happening quite. Jan Uroda signed up. Monique Townsend. Dan Everson. Those are 46, 47, and 48. Apologies, guys. I'm trying to keep up with what's going on here. Brian Wrestler gifting another one. Kimberly Nitsa with a gift. Our friend Kyoko from Japan gifting another one. And Timothy O'Hearn with another gift. That's 52. And the next people are Cindy Lowe gets a free membership. Thomas Curry gets a free one. Eshe Hummingbird and Denna Motto all getting free memberships. This is wild. Yeah, I think the website's going to crash. There's too many people signing up. Too many people. Everybody okay? Sensing a weird energy in the chat today. Hope we don't have to start mass banning people. That would be weird. Yes, so Dr. Oz spoke already, but Trump is about to speak, and then he will presumably bring up Oz. And the rumor is people are going to boo. That's the rumor. We'll see.
Hi, David. I don't know why, but I watched season 1, episode 1 of The Apprentice last night out of sheer curiosity. The legality of the stream is in question, but you know, it was the best stream ever, so that's not really a problem. The issue though is I feel like Donald Trump has never actually learned anything in his life. I feel like one day he was just born with everything he would ever know, and he already knew everything, every word he would ever say, and has never picked up anything new his entire life.
Yeah.
I just find it odd.
Okay.
Hey, what up, David? B-Dog here. I got another question for you, dog. Do you think Oprah would vote for Dr. Oz, dog, or do you think she would vote for the Democrat candidate?
Honestly, even though Oprah's responsible for unleashing Dr. Oz on the media landscape, I don't think she would vote for him.
Dog, because I know Oprah has a close relationship with Dr. Oz, dog.
I can't imagine she would.
All right, dog. Oh, sorry about that dog. I don't know if you can hear that dog, but I know.
Sounds like there was a dog in the background, actually. Okay. Oh, wow. There are more people signing. There's more gifts coming in. Let's give away some more gifts. Greg Tullis just bought a gifted membership. Kyoko got another gifted membership. Marco Janet just got a gifted membership. Kyoko got another one. Guys, if our Japanese viewers are this engaged, please. Stanley Minerick just sent a gift. David Dinar sent another one. Lisa Rader. Wow, everybody's Raider. So that's 6 gifts. That's 58. The recipients are Maribel, Peter Kelly, Frank Bonilla, Jeremy Reinhold, Anthony Vicario, and Andrea Tanevsky. I'll give them away all night. David, sir, the only voice of sanity I dare listen to, says Mart Fillion. Appreciate you, Mart. Always great to see you in the chat. And then some selfish people signing up for themselves. Richard Bryan getting himself a membership on my website. Next is Peter DiVincenzo. Christopher Johnson signing up. Those are numbers 59, 60, and 61. Guys, I can't tell you how much I appreciate the support. It's been slow lately because we're in this lull before the election and after the last one, and it's fantastic to see so many people engaged. Bonnie Matizak with a gift. Patricia Goss gifts one. Also, Leon Scott Kennedy with a gift. Those are numbers 62, 63, and 64, and I'm glad to give those away to Rossi Rivera, Combe, and Brent Bytel. Everybody gets a free membership in order, okay? If you want a free one, you go to davidpakman.com/free membership. There's only 643 people ahead of you in line. It's what it is, guys. I don't know what to tell you. It's what it is. David, considering it's raining in Pennsyvlania, do you think Trump will bring up showers and how it ruins his hair and big ocean water? Oh, guaranteed Trump talks about the weather. I wouldn't even... I think if we did an over-under, it's 5. Does Trump talk about the weather more or fewer than 5 times? Thanks to Play Enjoy for gifting 10 subs on Twitch. What a beautiful gift there. Everybody's saying he's going to mention the weather more than 5 times. Maybe he will. David, sir, what do you think is the single most important thing the Democrats need to get done before the midterms to positively impact it? To remind everybody that the reason Roe v. Wade is being overturned is Trump beat Hillary. And that should be a reminder of the consequences of these damn elections. I don't know how else to say it. It's just, it is something. Hey, David, who's your favorite president? I don't have one. How do you think Joe Biden will be remembered in history? Too soon to say. He's been in office 15 months. Appreciate the super chat, Lana, but we need time. We need time for those questions. To quote Gary V, you got time. You got time. Shot game. Take a shot whenever Trump says in the history of America. Yeah, I don't want anybody ending up in the emergency room today. So please don't do that. Please don't do that. Yeah, it's kind of like, what's your favorite book? It's like, I don't know. I read 4 books in the last month. It's hard to say my favorite of all time. Obviously, it's Ready Player One. That's a joke. I've actually not even read Ready Player One. Thanks to Andrew AVR Drums for gifting a subscription. That's number 75. I'm glad to give that subscription to Andrew Kravetsky. Also want to say thanks to Robert Nunnenkamp, who just signed up for himself and is number 76. Guys, we haven't hit 100 memberships during a stream in a long time, and we may be able to do it. Trollman Juan, even after I suggested he's an incel, has just gifted another membership. That's number 77. And that one goes to Neil Shaw. Nathan says, David, sir, do you still speak to Lewis? I randomly saw him on a craft beer video. LOL, I did. I actually texted with Lewis today. His band is playing a show tonight. I don't know where, but they should have our stream on in the background. Shimonetta, a boring world where the concept of dirty jokes doesn't exist. A future that could be ours in America. I don't even know what that's about. Jorgen Lundqvist says, keep up the good work. Thank you, Jorgen. I appreciate that very, very much. And thanks to Cortina GT for the Twitch Prime subscription. Let's listen to what's happening here.
About how nice Liz was, so.
It's like a mosh pit, huh?
I'm paying him.
Well,
we haven't seen each
secret's
other.
out.
We haven't seen each other in like a year.
It has been about a year since probably Dallas.
Alex is behind the scenes, though. You're constantly writing articles. How can people find your articles and other RSBN articles?
Well,
Tell us how that's going.
You can go.
Tell us about your writing.
Realistically, are seeing interest to see when does this recession hit while the White House sits there and boasts about how great their economy is. How easy is it to pick apart for the average American when you look at all this?
Well, I think the average... Man, this commentary couldn't possibly be any more meaningless. Gamer says, my predictions for this rally. Sir, glitch, glitch, glitch. Incoherent rambling finishing with awkward dancing with that terrible country song. No. The terrible country song is at the beginning, and then at the end, it's YMCA. You've got the order wrong. It's going to be a different sort of situation. All of those components will be there. I've never seen a kind of like music festival kind of dance scene at any of these events. Kind of an interesting thing. We'll see what Trump brings. I'm telling you guys, Trump hates being out in the rain. I don't know. Maybe it'll be the shortest rally ever. I looked at the weather and it actually seems like it's going to get worse as they wait. So I don't know that waiting is going to do much for him. I really don't. I want to say thank you to Alex Delaney, who just signed up on my website with the coupon code OBAMNA. And his new member number 79 today. 79. I encourage you, in all seriousness, our goal is to do we're trying to cover all the 2022 debates, the Trump endorsement rallies. We've been doing Republican debates, Democratic debates. We've been doing some of the Johnny Depp, Amber Heard trial, all of it. Our goal is to continue. And the best way to support the work we do is to do what a lot of these 79 people have done, which is sign up on my website. Great people. These are great Americans. Many of them aren't even American, to be perfectly frank. I don't care where you're from. Do you think Trump's sitting in a tent behind the stage waiting for people to show up? I don't know if Trump arrives and goes right out on stage or whether he does the thing where he kind of hangs out as the crowd builds. Super chat. A lot of the commentary from the online left in regard to Roe v. Wade has been horrible. They're still playing the both sides meme about Democrats not doing enough. Kolinsky and TYT, to name a few, garbage. Haven't seen it. Don't watch any shows like mine. I'm just going to keep doing my commentary, which is we mostly blame the people who voted for Trump, Trump for picking these justices, the justices for doing this. And we also are aware that if a few more Democratic voters had come out to vote for Hillary, Roe v. Wade wouldn't be overturned. It's just a mathematical reality. It's okay, guys. We're all friends here. We don't have to attack anybody. It's just what it is. Will you ever interview or have a discussion with Brian Tyler Cohen? Would love to see it. Anytime. Would love to. Thanks to Joanne Dodge for signing up on my website. Joanne is new member number 80. Okay, now, what percentage of the way are we to 100? The goal is 100 and we're at 80. Let me see if I can do this in my head. 8 divided by 10 is 0.8. Carry nothing. 0 divided by 0 is 0. So it's 0.80. And then to go from a decimal to a percentage, you multiply by 100, meaning we are 80% of the way there. Is that right? Is that correct? So it's only 70%? Damn, hold on. Did I do something wrong? 80 divided by 100. I guess it's 70%. Yeah, I don't know. I'm perplexed by the numbers. Austin Muckenthaler just gifted a membership, and so did Hector Santiago. Thanks, guys. That puts us at 82. And the recipients are Shannon Hallman and Michael Lovejoy getting free memberships. Wow. That is something else. Lucky people, I'm telling you. Very, very lucky people.
David, I'm loving the soaking wet crowd on display on the stream right now. I wanted to ask you maybe a hard question to answer or even begin to answer. How would you go about correcting somebody's perception who credulously believes that Tim Pool is a centrist and that Jimmy Dore is an authentic lefty? I would be interested in knowing your approach.
I think it really depends on how weaponized the person's delusions are. But I think what I would start with someone like Tim Pool, I would go, okay, how do you define that someone is on the left first? And then I would say, or a centrist or whatever. And then I would say, what positions does whoever hold that you believe are under that umbrella? I think that would be my approach, and just let them answer, you know? Bryson says he can't do the calculation because Florida got rid of the math books. That's fair. Bay Photo says superb math skills, sir. Your textbooks must not have been banned. That's right. David, sir, being from northwestern Pennsylvania, I can attest that outside the cities, Trump cult is in full effect. Even Pennsylvania is pretty rural, despite the few big cities. Besides, I know that, yeah. You could almost call us Pennsyltucky. Keep up the good work, go Fetterman. Well said. Gamer Batman says, I'm as left-wing as any person could be, but I occasionally, and I mean really occasionally, watch news. Does that make me a bad person? No, I don't even know what you're talking about. My 8-week-old daughter and I are watching together Sanity and Solidarity from the UK. What's your favorite drum rudiment? Oof. I'm a fan of the double paradiddle because you can play it in 4/4. Or you can move it over to 12/8 or 6/8. And you can also use accents where you can play it in 12/8, but accent every fourth, or play it in 4/4 and accent every sixth. Extremely versatile rudiment. Extremely versatile. Hard to beat, really. That's what they tell me. It is a future where the government is so fed up with inappropriate things in media, such as porn and sex ed, that they outlaw it and make sure no one talks or jokes about it. And we're all forced to wear monitors to keep us in line. Sounds bad. David, just wanted to let you know, love your membership content. highly encourage members to deep dive into your members' site and take full advantage of the membership. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me thank a few people who have signed up. Jonathan Ferguson has gotten a new membership, and Dr. Annabelle Evans has signed up. That puts us at 84. Also, a gift coming in from Marco Janet. That is number 85, and that gift goes to Eve Tobin. Eve, you will hear from us in the next couple days with how to claim that membership. Lastly, thanks to Susanna Floor for gifting a subscription over on Twitch. Thank you very much, everybody. Will we get to 100 today? I have no idea. That's up to you guys. Let's start a band. Oh, I guess there's a lot of trolls in the chat. I haven't been paying attention. Thanks, Palisade, and Sarah is cool, putting us at 88. There do seem to be a lot of trolls on the chat. Yeah. People, you can, yes, moderators can start banning if necessary, if they violate the rules. Yep.
Dance the most I've ever seen him dance, and maybe we need to put a Trump dance cam clock on him, because I think he danced for a full minute total.
Why are these people standing in the dark? Bring a light with you, please. Please bring a light. I meant to say I occasionally watch Newsmax. Does that make me a bad person? No, I mean, I watch it too, just to like learn what's going on. I don't think that's a big deal. I'm not watching it for, I think the question is, are you watching Newsmax for news? That would be a concern. If you're watching Newsmax out of sort of a curiosity, that's fine. Cynthia is emailing saying, how do I gift a membership? Okay. Cynthia, it's really, really easy. Since you're already a member, okay, when you go through the sign-up process, you check this box where it says, is this a gift? You check it. See that? You check the box, and then it'll be a gift. And then you can type in, if you want, you can use the coupon code OBAMNA, and then look at that.
Obama.
That's something, huh? Super easy. We make it really easy. You don't even have to pick someone to gift it to. I handle the gifting. Okay, so let's see. We're at 88 out of 100. I think that means we're like roughly 90% of the way there, right? I mean, seems like it. You think that's a future Republicans would like to do? I'd have to think about it. No, not really. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. If you're just joining us, we are effortlessly waiting for Donald Trump, now 15 minutes late. It's raining, and Trump hates the rain, but presumably he's going to come out and speak soon, I think. Dark Pepsi asks, David, sir, will you be watching the mayoral race in LA? I really don't want billionaire Caruso to be the next mayor of LA and LA County. I don't know what's going on in the Los Angeles mayoral race. I know Eric Garcetti. He's a fellow Hispanic Jew like me. Los Angeles mayoral race 2022. Let's see who's running. Okay. It's in November. Garcetti is ineligible due to term limits. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to learn about what's going on. I don't know. I couldn't possibly say a word about that race. I just don't have a clue what's going on there. I interviewed Garcetti about a year ago, I guess, and don't know anything about what's been going on there since. Okay, thank you, Post Happy. A lot happening here. More gifts are coming in. Marcos Villoria has just gifted a subscription. Austin Muckenthaler has gifted another one. James Biard has gifted another one. And Elizabeth Stoffer has just gifted. We are at 92. 4 more gifted memberships are going out. Nick Parker gets the first one. David Roast gets the second one. Laura Schalk gets the third. And Steph McGarry gets the fourth. Looks like they're now into YMCA.
Showing up, best they can, but there's thousands and thousands of people here, which, quite honestly,
it seems like 1,000 people. It's very sparse. Progressive Prepper says, I've lived in Pennsylvania all my life, 63 years. Believe me, Pennsylvania is real. Go Fetterman. Yes, go Fetterman. I think that's an important message today. Very, very important. What do we think is a realistic estimate of this crowd? I mean, this is like the whole crowd. They're showing you everything. I know it looks kind of full, but this is it. Is it 1,000 people? Something like that? 800, someone says?
I was talking to him. He was getting out of his car, and he said, look, hey, I want to say I was in Pennsylvania that night when it was cold and rainy. And you know what? A lot of people will tell us that. It's a moment in history for these people that they get to see all this going on. Hey, we're a few minutes away. Please share this broadcast, like, comment, tell us where you're watching it from. Put it in the comments. Say, hey, I'm watching from the UK. We get a lot of people that watch us from the UK, by the way.
That's actually a good idea. Can you guys let me know in the comments where you're watching from? Because it seems as though a ton of the audience is in Pennsylvania from the number of people that are commenting. Oh, wow. We have people from all over the world. Vietnam, Australia, Finland. Anytime anyone says they're from Finland, I imagine they're watching my streams while eating that great salmon soup they have in Finland. A lot of Austin and New York City people. Massachusetts, Switzerland. Wow, it's the middle of the night in Switzerland. Thailand and Namibia. Beautiful. Canadians checking in. Mexico. Oh, that's cool. Minneapolis. Someone's watching from NARS. Let me see. Do I have my NARS message? NARS is so good. I don't know that I have it, though. Oh, that's really too bad. I've got to add NARS to my thing, yeah. New Zealand, that's great. I would really be interested in visiting New Zealand. Malvania. Now that I've not heard of. Myanmar. I'm proud of Newsmax for spelling Pennsylvania correctly. I know. We need a statute which would have forced a vote on Merrick Garland's nomination. That I agree with. Let's give away some more membership. Nicholas Stratz just gifted one. Rebecca Coles just gifted one. Amber Fritz sends a gift. Megan Bolanos sends a gift. Michael Francis sends a gift. That's 5. Joe Witoksky sends a gift, and that's number 6. Michael Blaylock sends a gift. That's number 7. Tiffany McLay sends a gift, and that's number 8. I think I'm about to give away 8 here. That puts us at 100. The following 8 people get a free membership. Nico Leo, Melinda Bly, Carrie Casa, Jamie Burns, Sarah Louise, Chris Bellows, CVS Abuses. That's weird. Evelyn Barney. Congratulations. You get a free membership. Also, thanks to Katie McCall Taratoa and Tom Walker, who have gotten themselves memberships. Nothing wrong with that. Fine to get one for yourself. Puts us at 102. And lastly, one more gift from Juan Trollman Peralta, putting us at 103. And that one goes to Wesley Taylor. Lastly, guys, I'm not ignoring Twitch. Of course, people with Bezos bucks get a thank you. Minty just gifted 5 on Twitch. RLM and Richbird Nation also chiming in. That's 7. 103 plus 7 is 110 as Trump enters. Peggy says, I need to sleep working at 3 a.m., but I know this will be like watching a train wreck. Hope I won't regret it. Just check out Michigan Gardener on YouTube and try his trifecta. I watch Michigan Gardener. I prefer Epic Gardening, who's a buddy of mine. But Michigan Gardener's good too. I'm from Kentucky. Not all of us are Trump or hillbillies. P.S. Rand Paul sucks. Beautiful message. David, as a Samsung user, do you have thoughts on the terrorism that is iMessage? It's very bad. David, sir, I left a comment on Trigonometry's video. You should show off some of the good ones if anyone hasn't seen them. They're hilarious. Maybe we will do that after, yeah. Thanks to Heigl for the Twitch Prime subscription. You are number 111. Trump looking extra. Let's just put it that way. Welcome to Michael Francis, who's a new member. Leslie Short is a new member. Joseph Jaworski is a new member. That's 114. We got another gift from Marco Janet. That's number 115. And that one goes to Frank Pinheiro. Another gift from Andrew Culp. Thanks, Andrew. That's number 116. Recipient there is Gladys Amato. We'll keep tallying them during Trump's speech. Don't worry about it. This is a very strange look for Trump. I guess because it's raining, he's wearing kind of this blackberry. I call it a blackberry. It's a little bit like, you know, have you guys ever seen Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Is that a film people in the audience are familiar with? Anyway, I won't say more, but if people have seen Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and you remember the Blueberry Kid, okay.
What weather? Wait all you want.
So this is the first mention of the weather.
What? We're going to have a lot of fun, Pennsylvania. We're going to have a lot of fun. They said, sir, the weather's so bad, we could do it another night. I said, you tell that to Pennsylvania because I'm not going to. This is great. It's great to be back in this beautiful Commonwealth with thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots. And 6 months from now, the people of Pennsylvania are going to vote to fire the radical left Democrats. And you're going to send Dr. Oz to fight for you in the U.S. Senate. And you're going to elect an incredible...
Were some people yelling no?
First Republicans to Congress.
I couldn't tell.
And together, we are going to end crazy Nancy Pelosi. She's crazy. We're going to end her career. They say she wants to move to Florida. Keep her the hell out of Florida. Keep her where she is. Earlier this week, our movement had a series of blockbuster victories in Ohio and Indiana. You know that, right? We nominated an amazing group of MAGA patriots to fight for us in November, including the future U.S. Senator. You know who that is? J.D. Vance. Where the hell is J.D.? Where's J.D.? What a guy. We've endorsed J.P., right? J.D. Mandel. Who are riding high. He's going to have a great future, and we're going to have a great future with another person that we happen to be here for. In fact, every single candidate that I endorsed won their primaries on Tuesday. They went 22-0, and in Texas a couple of weeks before, we won 33-0. So we have a total record of 55-0.
Remember, Trump's actual record on endorsements in general elections is very mediocre.
Event take place actually in Ohio. A man named J.R. Majewski. Do you know J.R.?
I interviewed him.
J.R. So J.R. was sort of a candidate, but I think he was sort of just...
This guy is soaking wet, huh?
Fun, and we had a tremendous crowd for all of the incredible patriots of Ohio, and we had just an amazing crowd. And I said, where's J.R. Majewski? Is he around here? And you could see his hand way the hell in the back. And what he is, he's a farmer. He's a great farmer. And he'd carved Trump into the cornfield or whatever field, wheat, corn, whatever the hell he had. And he'd carved in massive letters, Trump. And you could see it from 30,000.
You can check out my interview with the guy he's talking about, J.R. Majewski.
I called him out. I said, JR, I want to thank you. Now, I didn't want to endorse him because he wasn't really going to win. But I called him out, and we had lots of people. We had lots of people there. And guess what happened? Now, he was running against very good professional politicians. J.R. Majewski won for Congress. Can you believe this? He's your nominee. And he'll be great, but we didn't expect that, so maybe we can say instead of 50...
I interviewed the guy. He's not a great candidate.
But he's great, and we have a lot of fun, and we have a country that's in big trouble. Tuesday's primary results are...
Isn't it fun that the country's in a lot of trouble?
...have transformed the face of the Republican Party, thank goodness. We are now the working people's party, but we're really the party of everyone. We're the party, you know what? We're the party of common sense, I think, more than anything else.
Exactly.
We believe in putting America first, and we're going to keep on fighting to make
America great again.
All right.
And you know, sadly, we have a new theme too. It's called Save America, because our country has to be saved. These people are destroying our country. They're destroying our country. So we want to save America too. That's a sad statement to make. Who would have thought we would have had to make? We never did so good as we were doing a year and a half ago. But we have to save America, save our country. You could take the 5 worst presidents in American history and put them together, and they would not.
And I'm still worse.
Damage that Joe Biden has done to our country in just 16 months.
Wow. Very weaponized.
The contrast between the Trump administration's amazing success and Joe Biden's breathtaking failure. There's never been anything. Nobody's ever seen anything like this. Even the fake news is saying it a little bit now. As bad as they are and as fake as they are, they could not be more stark. And let's look at
What's
the
he
facts.
talking about?
I got gas way down
I
to
got gas.
$1.87
Oh my
a
God.
gallon. And they have it, if you can get it, at $5, $6, $7, even $8 last week a gallon. And you know, when you talk about inflation, that's a big factor right there. A lot of the inflation that you see is because of what we did. We were energy independent a year and a half ago. Who would believe it? We didn't need anybody. Now we go into places like Venezuela. We're back with OPEC. We're accepting oil from Iran, even though they say they're not. They are. With the help of Pennsylvania energy workers, we achieved American energy independence. And you remember I said they are going to kill you on energy. Pennsylvania is a big energy state. They've destroyed it. Biden surrendered our energy dominance, and he goes begging to OPEC. You know, you didn't hear the word.
A lot of you noticing that this guy looks like J.D. Vance. It's not J.D. Vance, but I see the resemblance. The guy's soaking wet already.
You would have never thought you even had to do business with. We created the safest border in the history of the United States. We ended catch and release. We deported record numbers of illegal alien gang members like MS-13. MS-13, you know what they do? They use knives because they're more painful. They cut young women up. They cut them up into pieces.
Did he say 13?
We built hundreds of miles of border wall. In fact, we completely finished our original plan. We then added much more border wall and almost got that finished too. 3 weeks more it would have been finished. And then we had the rigged election, okay? The border wall was a great success and gave us record low illegal immigration.
Wow. Without even building it, it worked. That's crazy.
Turned it into the worst ever. We had the best border we've ever had in the history of our country recorded. And now we have the worst border we've ever had. And all you have to do is
Nothing
look at
changed.
it. And you know, the fake news hardly covers it. You
Nothing
can
to cover.
turn on to ABC, CBS, NBC, watch Deface the Nation. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Donald Trump on Deface the Nation. You can watch NBC Fake News, Sleepy Eyes Chuck Todd. They don't talk about it. They
Dear
don't
God.
show what's going on. They're poisoning our country. I rebuilt our military, including our nuclear capability and the creation of Space Force, 75 years since Air Force. And they decided to give 85...
Just because it's been a while since you created a new wing doesn't mean we needed to.
And including 700,000 machine guns, rifles, and firearms of all types, as well as brand new airplanes, helicopters, tanks, and listen to this, 70,000 trucks. You know, there's not a used car lot dealer that would have probably 500, 600, 70,000, and many of them are armor-plated and the most expensive you can buy. 70,000 trucks. Think of that. I was getting us safely out of Afghanistan. I'm the one that got it down to 2,000. We were going to keep Bagram because of China. 1 hour away from where China makes its nuclear weapons. We want to keep Bagram. We gave it away. You know who's occupying Bagram right now? China. Creating peace in the Middle East, ending the endless wars, and bringing our troops the hell back home. It's time. 21 years.
China.
Biden turned Afghanistan into the greatest
China.
humiliation in American history. I believe that, too. With soldiers killed and horrifically...
That's Trump's classic move where he reads the teleprompter and then reacts to it. You're supposed to pretend those are your words. It's been the biggest embarrassment. I believe that too, yeah.
That were left behind, many of them. Putin saw this incredible weakness, and that's when he decided to invade Ukraine. He didn't look at Ukraine when I was there. He would never have done it. Would have never, ever happened 100%. And now you look at the death and the destruction. This is the most dangerous time in the history of our country because of
Thanks
the
to
incredible
MAGA.
power of modern day weaponry. They don't know how to deal with Vladimir Putin. They don't. They're saying exactly the wrong thing at the wrong time. They know nothing about psychology.
Trump said what Putin was doing was smart. That doesn't sound like the right time to say that.
Millions of people will end up being killed because we don't know what the hell we're doing. They are saying exactly the wrong thing at the wrong time. This should never have happened. And frankly, it should not be allowed to continue. Should not be allowed to continue. What's going on in Ukraine should not be allowed to continue. There was no reason for that to happen. And I'm telling you, he watched Afghanistan and he saw what happened the way we pulled out. Well, we took our military out first. Who ever heard? How stupid could you be? Do you know, when I was there, I spoke to the leader of the Taliban, Abdul.
Oh, boy.
And I said, Abdul,
Here we go.
no more. You're not going to kill any of us. They were killing a lot of soldiers under Obama, snipers and everything else. And I said, no more. You're not going to do it, Abdul. I said it much stuff. I don't want to sort of imitate it now. But I said, Abdul, if you do anything more, we're going to blow you to pieces. We're going to blow you to pieces.
I showed him a picture of his house.
And he said, yes, Your Excellency, I understand. He called me Your Excellency, which was nice. I wonder if he calls Biden Your Excellency. Actually, no, Biden wouldn't speak to him. We're so angry at what took place. And we're so angry at them and the gross incompetence. The only thing they're good at is rigging elections. It's the only thing they do well. It's the only thing they know how to do. But we have the wrong people in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's what we have. Under my leadership, America was strong and America was respected like never before. And not all of the foreign leaders loved me. Why would they? I said, you have to pay for NATO. You have to take our goods. The trade deals were no good. I redid trade deals and made them great.
Remember that USMCA was almost identical to NAFTA with some very minor changes.
Which was a disaster. We made the USMCA, which is great. And Mexico and Canada now want to renegotiate the deal. And so the United States says, oh, well, we'll love to meet with you anytime. And they will do that. And yet we got screwed for many, many decades with that horrible deal that we had to live with. Nobody said, let's renegotiate it. But we renegotiated. We got a great deal, USMCA. Now, leaders of countries don't...
All these people nodding right now about USMCA, this guy, this woman, everybody's nodding. Do you think if you go up to them and you go, what do you think is the biggest improvement that USMCA made over NAFTA? Do you think any of them could list one thing?
Which is what's happened. Because we've been ripped off by everybody, both on trade, with military, with NATO. Just a disaster what we've done.
Not a single one.
You know, in NATO, I got them to pay hundreds of billions of dollars. They weren't paying their bills. I said, you're delinquent. They said, well, if we're delinquent, sir, will you defend us should Russia attack? I said, no, if you're delinquent, I'm not defending.
I don't know if you can tell. There's like a little girl right here. You can only see like the top of her head. They're bringing kids to these things.
We had the greatest economy in the history of the world with virtually no inflation. We had no inflation. We had energy, we had cheap gasoline, we had cheap electricity, everything was so good. All they had to do is go to the beach and relax. The best borders. Biden created the worst inflation in more than 50 years, and it's going to go much higher. It's costing families more than $6,000 a year.
So Biden didn't create it, and it's probably not going to go much higher. I expect inflation will start to come down within 2 to 3 months.
Largest tax increase in history. I gave you the largest tax cut in the history of our country, larger than the tax cut given by Ronald Reagan, and gave you the largest regulation cuts in American history. That's why we had so many jobs. And you know, when you hear about their low unemployment numbers, they're terrible numbers, because we had 164 million people working.
This is a classic Republican move. When the unemployment rate is low under them, they brag about it. Biden comes in, the unemployment rate is even lower. And he goes, well, now we're going to talk about the labor participation rate. They've been doing this for as long as I've been doing the show. Most of you probably already know the game.
We came up with a lot of great ones. Crooked Hillary. Crooked. How crooked is Hillary Clinton? Obama.
This is a group that's very strongly for law and order, the Constitution, and due process, demanding the imprisonment of a woman who, never mind convicted, she hasn't even been charged with a crime.
Law firms, I guess, or somebody, I don't know, they got into various people that were having to do with the Russia hoax. And they have emails like, I can't believe this is going on. They're believing this stuff about Russia, Russia, Russia. And let's keep it going as long as we can. It was set up as a way of explaining a fake. It was a fake con job. You know, con job was a con job. They set it up as a way of explaining why she lost. And we lost. And I'll tell you what, we made her lose. You know why? We had huge crowds. She didn't have crowds. Anyway, it was an explanation for why she lost. It was Russia, Russia. Everyone said, that's strange. You know, during the campaign, people would come up to me and they'd say, sir, do you know anything about Russia? No, why do you ask? No, I don't really. I mean, I can tell you about Russia, but why do you ask? I don't know, sir, just I hear about Russia. And another one would come up and they'd say, sir, have you had anything to do with Russia? No, why? Why do you ask? That's a strange question. Then again, a month later, a young staffer would come up. Oh, sir, it's such a pleasure to meet you, sir. Oh, you're going to be such a great president. Sir, were you involved with Russia? I said, what the hell is going on with Russia? Disinformation. You know, they're full of disinformation. That's what they are. That's all they're good at, that stuff. But it's disinformation. And then 4 or 5 more times, I call my people. I say, could somebody explain what the hell is going on with Russia? And then I see this guy on television being interviewed, one of Hillary Clinton's top honchos, and he said, yeah, it was Russia. That's what it was. It was Russia. You remember John Lovitz, the liar, on a horrible show now, but it used to be good, right? It used to be good. I actually hosted it. Saturday Night Live, I hosted it. And 2 great ratings, I might add, but I hosted. That was before I ran for politics. After I ran for politics, they weren't too interested in having me host it, although I covered a lot of time. And Alec Baldwin's a sick puppy. He was terrible. I don't know. I haven't seen the new guy, but I hear he's better than Alec Baldwin. But anybody would be. You'd be. Anybody in the front row. Well, it's true. But that was not a very good show. It's become a very bad show. It used to be a little bit funny.
But this is pretty like kind of like a verbal ink blot test, even for Trump's meandering standards.
No, I think he's a sick person. I've watched him. He's a psycho. Something happened there. That's a strange deal. And he shouldn't have done those interviews. Those interviews were not good. They were not good. He goes lock him up. You may find that could be. He is one sick puppy.
Just imprison anybody you don't like. And we're also for law and order.
164 million people working, a record never, ever been achieved. By the way, 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 way higher than we are right now. Now people aren't working. And if they're not working, they take you off the rolls and then they say what great employment numbers you have. That's not true. We achieved the largest poverty reduction in 50 years and lifted 7 million people off food stamps, and we lifted 10 million people off of welfare, and they were happy. They all had good.
So just to be thorough, you guys know that the labor participation rate stuff is a total snow job by Republicans. But when Trump left office, the labor force participation rate was 61.4%, and it's now 62.2%. So actually, the labor participation rate is up since Trump left.
When he was in charge, did a horrible job. I said, why is he going to do good in this one? He used to call it N1H1. It's actually H. It's easy to remember because H comes before N, right? So the H1N1 would also say things like, it's great to be with you in Florida tonight. Thank you. It's great. There were no palm trees. There were trees like looked like this. And he did that many, many times. You know, he'd be in Idaho and it'd say Iowa. If I ever did it once, I'd be dead. They'd say, it's over for him. But, you know, by the way, one thing I have to say, I love Arnold Palmer.
Yeah, Trump never says stuff like that.
We've endorsed JP, right? J.D. Mandel, because I knew him really well the last 15 years of his life, and he was a great man. He was incredible. You know a story quick about Arnold? His father was...
Can I tell you a quick story about Arnold Palmer?
Laborer. He was actually a sod carrier. He was a very strong person. And Arnold Latrobe is very close. And Arnold learned to play using other people's clubs. They had no money to buy a club. And Arnold would come in after hours and he'd use members' clubs and he'd learn and he became great. Then he won the U.S. Amateur.
Isn't that an inspirational story?
From the beginning, he made a lot of money. He went back and he bought the course. Do you know that? He bought the course and he put his father on as superintendent and ultimately made his father the manager of the club, and he owned the club right until his last day. Winnie is buried there, his wife, who he loved so much. I was with him as we walked past where she was, and he's...
Winnie Palmer is an issue of major consequence for this crowd.
Oh, man. And I said, so Arnold, you could be on the ocean. You could be on the West Coast, East Coast. You could be along the Potomac River. You could be anywhere. You've decided to stay right here. He said, I love this area. I love Pennsylvania, and I love Latrobe. So, amazing. Amazing story. Think of it. He goes out and he ends up buying it and makes his father the boss. I mean, that's what our country is all about.
I know a lot of people are worried about this woman here who seems to be visibly shaking. She's holding a little tiny kid, and we could argue that the kid shouldn't be there, and we would be right. But she is shaking because seems to be trying to rock a kid to sleep.
All my people want me to finance an airplane. He was buying an airplane. Should I finance it? I said, well, do you need the money? No. I said, then don't finance it. In other words, his instinct is, why do I finance an airplane if I don't need the money? But he loved Pennsylvania and he loved this area.
A lot of people in the crowd have had that same dilemma. Finance it or pay cash for the airplane?
To be along the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, or any other ocean that he wanted, and he didn't want to move. He never even thought about it. He was a great man, and he's looking down right now, but he was a great man, and he loved your state. Under Biden, 4 million people have not returned to the labor force. Real wages have declined 12 months in a row, and the economy sucks.
Unemployment's at a record low, and the labor participation rate is higher than when Trump left.
In the first quarter, and the fake news is trying to say, think of it, the economy went down for the first time in many years. And the fake news, these guys are, look at all of them in the rain. They're standing.
It's all right-wing media there.
They're standing in the rain. They're standing in the rain. They should stand in it. I'd like to have them in the rain every night. I'd like them to be in the rain. But they were saying, I was watching the fake news. No, the economy went down a little bit, but that's good news. They're the only ones that can say the economy shrank. You know, the economy shrank, and it's good news. On COVID, which I call the China virus because I want to be accurate, we had tremendous success with therapeutics and Operation Warp Speed. Nobody anywhere in the world did it like us, and I rejected mandates, I rejected unscientific lockdowns, and I fought to get our children the hell back in school as soon as you can. And, you know, very importantly, a lot of people now are realizing this, but I let Republican governors run their states the way they should be run without interference from the federal government, but with a lot of help from the federal government in getting ventilators and therapeutics and supplies of all shapes, sizes, and kinds to them without cost or without delay. And they've done an incredible job. A lot of the Republican governors have done an incredible job. You remember when governors get credit for doing this great job, which they really did. The Republican governors did a tremendous job, and honestly, the Democrat governors did a terrible job. I can't think of one that did good, and I dealt with all of them. And you know, on the phone, one would have these weekly meetings with all the governors, 50 governors, and would have these weekly meetings, the Democrat governors. Thank you so much for getting us to ventilator. Thank you. I wish you could hear these calls. They actually do have transcripts of all those calls, but now nobody cares, unfortunately. But they would be so nice to me. Thank you, sir, that you've done an incredible job. They didn't have a news conference outside. We're not happy with the president. But we made them pay when we heard that. But it's because I let the Republican governors do what they wanted to do. It made it all possible for the great.
Is he going to hit trans sports today, you guys think? That's been a big one for him lately.
Fantastic. By contrast, under Biden, more people died of COVID last year than all of 2020. They failed on testing, they failed on therapeutics, and they imposed horrific mandates, punishing lockdowns and radical mask regulations. What a gift from hell that was, right? From China. What a gift from hell. And don't forget, I closed this down to China. We would have lost perhaps hundreds of thousands of people more. Thankfully, a Trump-appointed judge recently struck down Biden's ridiculous mask mandate in a righteous victory for American freedom. Joe Biden and the radical left Democrats have turned calm into chaos, competence into incompetence, and stability into anarchy.
That's the new one, chaos.
And security into a catastrophe. You look at Afghanistan again and again. We'll never forget it. It would be nice if they would talk about it. They never talk about it, the fake news, because it's so horrific what happened. It was so bad, they never talk about it.
You really have to question. I mean, honestly, I'm sure this is a really nice woman and smart and everything and you know, everything. But you've really got to question the sanity of bringing a little kid to a rally in the rain with the fetid Sanny cans and the whole thing. And then now you got to rock and shake and the whole thing to try to get her to calm down.
Just look at this video. You know, we spend all this money on this wonderful technology, but we bought these great screens. I don't know how the hell they're going to work in this rain, but we'll give it a shot. But take a look at this incredible scene. And it's very sad to watch. Thank you.
Television, excuse me, make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. What am I doing here? Oh, Putin's kleptocracy. Yeah.
This is where they visibly make fun of Biden's stutter, just openly.
Who are the kleptocracies? But these are bad guys. I got them $1.9 trillion released so far. I wrote the bill on the environment. Pay them more. I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure, isolate, and punish China. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by go. You know the thing. So the best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to. Anyway.
We've endorsed JP, right? JD Mandel. No more Dropbox. The Dropbox is a Cephahide. A rhino named Mitt Romney. Truth Central. Obama. Then he went, Donald Trump. Yeah, Donald Trump. Mexico. And I've had more investigations than Jesse James, Billy the Kid, Sachin Tendulkar.
And God bless the United States.
Thank you very much. But it's sad, and he's surrounded by very smart but vicious people that I really believe hate our country. I really believe that. Because they are smart people. They're vicious. And they use law enforcement to go after and hunt people. You see what they're doing. Nobody's ever done anything like they're doing. He's surrounded by these people. And we have to be victorious. We're not going to have a country left. And once and for all, Joe Biden should put the question to rest. I don't think we really need to know the answer because we already do. By taking a cognitive test and releasing the results for the entire world to see. Just like I did. I did it.
Here's the dementia rant.
I got tired of these fake stories from these fake reporters. Then I took the test, and Ronnie Jackson, Doc Ronnie, right? He's Doc Ronnie, he's Admiral Ronnie, and he's now Congressman Ronnie from Texas. He's a great man, and he was the doctor of Bush and Obama, younger Bush, who got us into the Middle East. He did a great job, didn't he? One of the worst presidents in our history, whether you like him or not, whether you like a Republican or not, he got us into the Middle East. He should be ashamed of himself for what he did. And he never got us out. And neither did Obama get us out. But I got you out. With the support of all of these patriots, and he should take the test. And by the way, everybody running for president should be forced to take this test. You see that now. And I started by saying our country's at the most dangerous point in history. That's so true. And we have people, some of them maybe don't care. Others don't get it. They're not into the world of deals or psychology or dealing with other people.
Trump's into the world of deals and psychology.
Now they're all bragging about what they did. Let Ukraine take the credit, but you got to get out. They got to make a deal. Got to make a deal. Russia's going to make a deal. They would make a deal. Ukraine should make a deal. There's not a lot left, though. You know, the time to do it was at the beginning, before it started. It would have never happened. Even if they didn't make a deal, it would have never happened. I spoke to Putin about it a lot. And I told him what would happen if it did, and he understood that. And we never had, you know, a lot of people, they say, actually, a lot of the radical left say, we agree that if Trump were president, that would not have happened. That's just such a horrible thing. But they knew that it was not something that was going to. And the fact is, for 4 years, it didn't happen. It's never even thought about. Nor did Taiwan happen with President Xi of China. That didn't happen. With the support of all the patriots here tonight, we saved our country once, and together we will save our country again.
If you're wondering why they're not showing the whole crowd, this is the whole crowd.
I won twice.
Let's check
I did
Newsmax.
much better the second time than I did the first time, getting 12 million more votes than we did in 2016, and likewise getting more votes than any president in the history of our country. We got more votes by millions than any president in the history of our country.
Other than Biden.
By far, and now we may have to do it again. And I hope all of you can go out and see something that I think is genius. It's really amazing. It just came out the night before last. It opened. It had a premiere in Florida, beautiful house, small little place, a quaint place called Mar-a-Lago. And we had over 1,000 people, very important people. And, you know, they'll try and suppress it as much as possible. But it's determinative, definitive, whatever word you want to use. You know, they like to use determinative. That means election changing. Definitive, election changing. Or just say it was election changing, probably. But I hope you can see the genius of Dinesh D'Souza's incredible new documentary. It's called 2,000 Mules. And basically...
It's about ballot trafficking.
Get the ballots, okay, in a sense. But it's an incredible documentary. I mean, if the people that do this stuff were fair, this would get every award. There'd be nothing even close. This exposes the fraud like
the cinematography is just incredible. The lighting.
Because they say, there he goes again.
The Zay.
And by the way, if I didn't go, we would lose a lot of our base, you know? Somebody came up to me the other day and they said, sir, I'd like to thank you for something. What?
Sure,
you never
sure.
conceded. Thank God you never conceded. Isn't that true? I didn't think of it that way.
Now, that's a total red meat claim. Like, his audience thinks it matters if he concedes. And of course, it makes no difference.
And these people that say, sir, you won, many people,
Sure,
sir,
sir.
it doesn't matter, sir, you're leading by 30 points. You're up 70, 80 points in the Republican primary. Nobody's close. And you're leading Biden. I guess some poll came out. I'm leading him by like 15, 16 points. Who the hell wouldn't be?
Give me a break, dude.
This person right here. Did you ever run for politics? No. You would be leading by more than me.
Run. I once ran for ethics.
You know, they're friends. They're good people. They're good rhinos. You know, we have good rhinos too, by the way. Not too many of them. But they'll say, sir, it doesn't matter what happened. You're going to win the next time. We may not have a country the next time.
So do the polls matter or don't they? I'm confused.
Would have to say in 4 years. Now we're down to less than 2.5 years. It's starting to get very reasonable. It's starting to get very reasonable. And in November, you have the midterms coming, and, you know, we're going through the primaries right now. So far, the numbers that we're putting up are incredible, and I take that with great pride because
Is he going to bring up Oz? You would think so.
not me. And, you know, we endorse a lot of people
Here we go.
a little bit out of the box. You know, they said, well, does he endorse front runners? No. JD was not leading, and they put it. We've endorsed JP, right? JD Mandel. Crap, just like they're doing with Oz, the same thing. They're spending millions and millions and millions of dollars, and they're trying to hurt him so badly. I just think he's going to win. He's a great gentleman. I've known him so long. And we endorsed JD, and he was like a rocket ship. He went peoing. It didn't make any difference. It didn't make any difference to them. All the ads, they hit him that last week as hard as any human being has ever been hit. It's sort of like Abdul would have been hit. But he decided he was very smart. Abdul said to me, you know, he said, but sir, why? Why do you send me a picture of my home?
Sure.
It's true. I sent him a beautiful picture. Actually lives in quite a nice place. One of our most urgent priorities when Republicans retake Congress must be to end the nightmare on the southern border, which is one of the most horrible things to ever happen to our country, where our country is being poisoned, weakened, and permanently stained. Illegal aliens are pouring in by the millions and millions and millions. Nobody knows what the number is. They say 2 million, 3 million. I think it's 15 million. And it's only going to get worse. And they want to get rid of some of the remaining things. We had remain in Mexico. How good is that? You think that was easy to get?
Right.
I went to the State Department. I said, give me the top 10 things. I went to the Border Patrol and the ICE people, the officials. I said, give me your top 15 things, your top 10 things. I'll get them all from Mexico. They laughed at me. Everybody laughed. Border Patrol. These guys are so incredible, by the way. And ICE. And they gave me the list. And somebody at the State Department, a woman, she was fantastic. She worked in Mexico for 25 years. She said, sir, you'll never get this. We've been asking for this for many, many years. I said, Mexico. 100% I will. They say, sir, you'll never get it.
Sure.
I had little things like you have to remain in Mexico. You can't come into our country. We want 28,000 people to guard our border as we're building the border wall, 28,000 soldiers. They said, sir, we never even asked for that part. That's ridiculous, sir. You'll never get it. I say, 100% you're going to get it. 100%. I would bet you any amount, but of course, I don't want to be Mitt Romney when he said, I'll bet you 10,000. Do you remember that disaster? Now, he's a rhino disaster. named Mitt Although he Romney, did say, if Trump runs, there's nobody that can beat him. He did say that today. Mitt Romney. Hey, he's coming along, I think, Dr. Oz, to say that. That was shocking. Mitt Romney said that. But I said to them, I said, that the officials came in from Mexico, very handsome, beautiful people. They came in.
In a kid, this type of being all over the place would be potentially a factor where you're like, oh, we should consider ADHD.
And then I said, you're going to have to remain in Mexico, and you're going to have to do 8 other things that were almost as bad. And they laughed and smiled. They said, we would never do it.
This is a really long story.
have to do it. You will do it. They said, we're not going to do it, sir. I said, here's what's going to happen. This was a Friday afternoon. I said, on Monday morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, we're going to charge you 25% tariffs on every car and everything you make from Mexico that comes into our country. And we're going to take in billions and billions and billions of dollars.
Are we?
And it's going to more than pay for whatever we have to do to secure our border. And he said, may we call the president? Yes. And he came back about 5 minutes later. He said, sir, it would be a great honor to give you 28,000 soldiers free. It would be a great honor, sir, for you to allow millions of people potentially to stay in Mexico as they await clearance into the United States, which not too many people got. No, we had it really, really incredible. We did an incredible job. And we got everything. And the person from the State Department came over and said, sir, that was the most amazing thing I've ever seen in government. I said, actually, it was quite easy, as I told you it would be. When Republicans retake Congress, we should immediately pass legislation to ban the federal government from unloading plane loads and truckloads and everything else of illegal aliens in American communities and into our homeland. This is our homeland that we love and we cherish. Our country is full. We can't take it anymore. They are trying to destroy our country. We can't let that happen. In addition to illegal immigration, Biden has blown out the refugee cap by 800% plus. Think of that. We had a cap on the number of people that could come into our country. He's 800% above the cap. And that doesn't include the ones that come in legally, which is frankly most of them, including bringing in tens of thousands of unvetted, unscreened foreign nationals from Afghanistan on the planes.
That's not happening.
Hundreds of thousands of people and only 3% qualified to come in. Some of them are terrorists. I've been very good at predicting. Did you ever hear that? I've been very good. You're going to be paying for that. We are all going to be paying that for many years to come. Republicans should vote to restore my strong policy prohibiting refugee resettlement without the approval of local governments under the defund the police mantra. They want to defund the police. Our high crime, which is all of them, Democrat-run cities, are also being ravaged.
Remember that cities, generally speaking, are run by Democrats. Democrats in general prefer to be in cities. The high crime cities are run by Democrats, and the low crime cities are run by Democrats.
Where, frankly, I went to college, a very wonderful place called the Wharton School of Finance.
Oh, God.
Last year, Philadelphia broke all records for murders. Listen to this. This is an American city with 562 homicides. 562. That's a war zone. That's not a city. The 32-year-old woman who was 7 months pregnant was gunned down outside her home as she unloaded gifts from her baby shower. A few weeks ago in Pittsburgh, a 15-year-old boy was left dead after being shot in the head while riding his bicycle down the street. And in March, 50 bullets were fired into a crowded Pittsburgh party, leaving 2 people dead, 8 others gravely wounded, dying, most of them, and still more badly injured when they jumped out of windows to escape the slaughter. They jumped out of windows. They were so badly injured. Democrats are the party of crime, the party of chaos, and the party of death. They are, whether you hate saying it or like saying it, they're the party of death. Republicans are the party of law, order, and life. And you know what else the Republicans are? They're the party of the American dream. They really are. They're the party of the American dream, which is being taken away from you. If you want to make our country safer for violent criminals, vote for the radical Democrats. If you want to make it safer for your family, your children, and for law-abiding Americans, you must vote for Republicans. You must.
Really a big focus on Dr. Oz here, huh? Which is sort of like the whole point of the rally.
With the Hispanics African Americans, Asian Americans, everybody. The party is a much different party than it was when I started 6 years ago. 6 years ago, really. And we have a much different party. We have a party, some people say Trumpism, call it whatever you want, but it is indeed a party.
Trump certainly prefers you call it Trumpism.
Right here in Pennsylvania, that starts with nominating the man who has by far the best chance to win Pennsylvania's U.S. Senate race this fall, my friend Doctor Mehmet Oz. He's a great man. Dr. Oz, I've known him a long time. His show is great. He's on that screen. He's in the bedrooms of all those women telling them good and bad, and they love him. He came into a place where we had a lot of women sitting there waiting for something unrelated. They started going crazy. Is that Dr. Oz? That's Dr. Oz.
Something unrelated.
But he's taking a lot of horrible...
Trump was with Oz somewhere where there were women waiting for something unrelated.
Wall Street people, they have plenty of money. Plenty of money. They're spending millions of dollars and treating them very unfairly. Dr. Oz has led an enormously successful career on television, and now he's running to save our country just like I do from the radical left lunatics and maniacs. Dr. Oz is a man who truly believes in Make America Great Again or the MAGA movement. And we will ban men of the country. He's supported by Sean Hannity, and we all love Sean Hannity, Rick Perry, and very importantly, he's supported by somebody known as me. He's supported by me.
Oh my God, is this kid okay?
As your Senator, Oz will fight to end illegal immigration, end sanctuary cities, and put dangerous criminals behind bars. That's what he wants to do.
Is this kid having a seizure?
He's going to stop the Democrats, socialists, and communists and confront China like no senator in the history of our state. And by the way, you have a senator who is very weak on China. This guy, Toomey. I wouldn't give him my endorsement, so he couldn't run. This guy, Toomey, is so bad on China.
I just realized this guy's wearing a helmet.
Question, Pat. Just let me ask you this question, a stupid question. China's been ripping us off for many years. You've done nothing about it. If they're charging us 100% tariff, are we allowed to charge them 100% tariff? No, sir, that's not free trade.
Sure.
Are we allowed to charge them 50%, Pat? No. 25%? No. Can't charge him anything. I said, there's something wrong with this guy. This is your senator. And I wouldn't give him. And by the way, he knew that. You know, he raised his hand to impeach me. And if I would have said I would have given him the nod, I would have given him a nomination, he would have never raised his hand, which tells you I have a certain courage. But I also believed a lot in the other senators that we happen to have, Republican senators. But he wanted me to endorse him, and I couldn't do it because he was so bad on trade. He was giving our country away to China and others. Dr. Oz is running against the liberal Wall Street Republican named David McCormick, who I've known. And David's another one, in all fairness, and he will say this. He fought hard for it. He wanted it. He hired almost every person that worked anywhere. If anybody was within 200 miles of me, he hired them. But he did want my endorsement very badly, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I know them both. And you have some other very good people. I know them, but I know in particular these two people, and they're leading. They're both leading. But I have to say, Oz is leading by more, despite this tremendous onslaught. Poll just came out. He's up by 3 or 4 points. David came out very strongly against me on numerous occasions. This was before he was going to run. All of a sudden, he said, boy, I like this guy a lot, including with respect to the disinformation spread about January 6th. Total disinformation. Remember about January 6th, if I might. I am the one who strongly requested 10,000 military soldiers or National Guard to Nancy Pelosi and the mayor of D.C. on January 3rd, 3 days early, because she's in charge of the Capitol, both of them. And she and the mayor turned it down. They didn't want it. Secretary of Defense offered it to them. They turned it down. They're in charge. They could have it or not. If they had listened to me and my recommendation, there would have been no January 6th, and the unselect committee of highly partisan political hacks and losers would never have been chosen.
This is bad.
It should never be going on right now.
Really
because
bad.
we offered to have 10,000 soldiers circling the Capitol, so you would have never had a problem. But they turned it down, and now they're saying, conspiracy, he doesn't love our country. I love the country so much more than they do. And I've done much more for this country than they have.
Wow.
So I don't know David well, and he may be a nice guy, but he's not MAGA. He's not MAGA. He's more to me than he is MAGA.
Please
I do
bring
know
on
that he
Oz.
was with a company that managed money for communist China, and he is absolutely the candidate of special interests and globalists and the Washington establishment, and those are the people that are not only spending millions and millions of dollars on his campaign, they have unlimited money to just try and destroy Oz, but they want to destroy this great warrior and a truly nice person. Not going to do it. And they're also the people that are ripping off the United States with bad trade deals, open borders, and every other thing that the people in this audience will never stand for, and you fully reject. David is totally controlled. This is the opponent by Mitch McConnell, the old crow, the old broken down crow. Mitch McConnell is the least popular politician in the country, according to the, no, he's an old, broken down crow. I want to be nice. I don't want to call, I had that word right.
It's open season on Republicans, huh?
I'd go home and the first lady would say, why did you use that foul language, darling? I love you so much, but why did you?
She said, sir.
He's an old, broken down piece of crow. No, but David fits in with him. I mean, they gave away this $1.9 trillion for an infrastructure deal to the Democrats. I call it infrastructure because there's virtually no infrastructure. Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, Mitt Romney, and all of the other rhinos that are trying to destroy our party and destroy our country fit in so nicely with David McCormick. That's the way it is. And we can't let it happen. He will quickly fold to the fake news. David, he's going to fold. McCormick.
Is he going to bring Oz on? This is a strange rally.
Left Democrats, that's the way it is, and that's the way he is. Oz will never do that. He will fight till the end, and he will always have your back. We can always count on Dr. Oz. Again, I know him well. He did an interview with me on his show. I did a show years ago, and he said, I want to do like a physical on you. I said, that's okay. Just like Biden and everybody running for president should take a cognitive test. He wanted to do a physical. I felt great. So he did a physical. He came out with a great report. He said he's very healthy. He's really great, great. But he should lose some weight. I said, that's not good. That's not good. You had to say that, Oz, didn't you, huh? You had to say that. You could have been perfect. I would have liked him even more if he said he's really, really healthy and he has one of the greatest bodies I've ever seen.
Remember, Trump claims to be 6'3" and to weigh only 239 pounds. I think it, excuse me, you can find athletes that are 6'3", 239, and you'll notice they don't look like Trump.
Do we love President Trump, Pennsylvania?
Man, he's soaking
Has
wet.
Joe Biden made us miss him even more? The only thing Joe Biden has built back better is the Republican Party. That President Trump leads, he sees the shining city on the hill. He sees it here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. He's fighting to save it. But he's fighting for more. When you save the soul of Pennsylvania,
you saved the soul of America. And the rest of the world is watching us. They see a controlling, authoritarian surveillance state of China. They see democracy giving rise to capitalism that President Trump made function so beautifully just 15 months ago. Seems surreal that it's been ruined so quickly. That's what we're fighting for. That's why President Trump, it means the world to me that you're here, sir. God bless you. And thank you for the endorsement.
He really has it down. 45 seconds, mostly praising Trump. Otherwise, Trump gets bored and annoyed.
Thank you, Oz. Thank you. He didn't need this. Just like I didn't have to be here tonight in this horrible rainstorm. Our First Lady said, "Are you crazy? Do it a different day." I said, "I'm not going to let those people down. They've been there for 4 days. We're not letting them down. We're never going to let them down." So the primary is on May 17th, but early voting begins this Tuesday, May 10th. Get out and vote.
Early voting, which he's against.
The fake news, crying tears of despair on election night, just like they did. Again, we did so much better the second time, but they were very upset the first time. But they all said, we're never going to let that happen again. They may let it happen again. Vote for Dr. Oz. He's an outstanding person. We're also joined by representatives, and these are warriors. These are friends of mine. And run up here and say a couple of words. Come here. John Joyce, representative.
Trump doesn't have
Mike
friends.
Kelly. Guy Resenchola. Fred Keller. Alex Mooney. Alex is in a big race. That's one of the races they keep saying, is Mooney going to win? Because Mooney is being backed by Trump.
Oh, who are
And he's
these
got an opponent, but I think Mooney's going to do real well. And the next congressman from Pennsylvania's 8th Congressional District, Jim Bognet. Come in, Jim. Come on.
Bognet.
Also, State Treasurer Stacey Garrity. Stacey, come on up, Stacey. Great job she did. She said, "Sir, I must tell you, first time in many years that a Republicans won, right?" She said, "Sir, I won because of you."
I like this super chat. I am honestly ashamed to say I had no idea Trump's content was so radical and dangerous.
You were much more popular, and you lost my area. You lost this. It's not possible. And I appreciate you saying that, because I happen to like you more than I like me, okay? But no, but a lot of people said it. The election was rigged. It was a disgrace. And Mike, where's Mike?
Anybody know what he's talking about?
History of business. Again, I want to introduce the man who really, I mean, honestly, if the movie world were legit, he'd get every award you could possibly
get. Oh, God, is it
get.
Dinesh?
The Academy Awards used to get good ratings. Remember the Academy Awards in the old days before they started knocking us and Trump and MAGA? Now they had like a regular show, but he would get everything for this documentary. Dinesh D'Souza. Dinesh, just come up, please, come up.
Oh, God, they're
Dinesh
bringing him up.
D'Souza.
If you want to talk about a dangerous guy, Dinesh D'Souza is exactly it.
With us are some friends of mine. They wanted to say, I said, don't come tonight. Let's go another time. It's pouring. Woody Johnson, a great gentleman. You ever hear of Johnson & Johnson? He owns the place. I tell you what, this guy's got cash like nobody's got cash.
Yeah.
Johnson & Johnson. His incredible wife, Suzanne Johnson, whose family is very, very close, and she comes from Ukraine. So she has a little bit of a hard time with it, but she's an incredible woman.
What?
Another incredible woman is Summers Farkas, a person respected by everybody in New York. So I want to thank you all wherever you may be. Thank you, Woody. Thank you very much.
This is getting weird.
Horrible weather. I said, Woody, let's wait for a really beautiful day. It's pouring out here. With the help of many people here tonight, over 4 years and incredible years, we all stood up for Pennsylvania. So I'd like to ask just a couple of you to come up and say a couple of words.
Oh, boy.
You're running against somebody that you should beat easily.
Weird.
You
Sorry,
better
I hit
beat
my
him
mic.
easily, or I'm going to look very bad. They're going to say, Trump has lost it. Say a few words, please.
Well, thank you, President Trump, for coming here and lending your support. The Republican primary in West Virginia is Tuesday, May 10th. So again, please tell your friends and family to vote May 10th. It's important we win these primaries to have real Republicans that'll fight like Donald Trump did for the values that we all share. Thank you, and God bless.
I was thinking about coming in a beautiful suit like that, but I couldn't do it. I didn't want to waste all that money and ruin that suit. Where's Mike? Mike, say a couple of words. Been my friend from day one.
Thank you, Mr. President. There's no other time in our history that we have been tested like we are being tested.
It's actually getting funny now.
The 4 years under President Trump, we saw America grow, not just in our economy, but in respect around the world.
That's a lie.
We were never tested. We were never challenged when President Trump was in office.
Thank God he couldn't have handled it.
Feared him and
This guy wanted to bomb a hurricane.
We now have somebody in the White House that nobody fears, nobody respects, and people can't imagine how they were able to pull off the greatest steal in American history in the election. I thank God every night that I had the opportunity as an American citizen to serve under this president, and I pray that we have the opportunity again. God bless you all for being here, and refuse to lose. Just refuse to lose.
Very sick man.
Wow, that's a pretty good job. Would you say he's a good politician? You know, the fact is, he's not a politician. He's a man that really believes in what he's doing. He really believes it. I'd like to ask, thank you, Mike. I'd like to ask the treasurer to come up and just say a little bit about what you saw that evening, because it was an incredible thing.
No.
And I've heard that from a lot of people.
Oh,
Please.
no. Look at this.
Thank you. So I'm telling you, this is the first time we had a Republican treasurer in 20 years, and the first time a Republican beat a Democrat incumbent since 1988. And I have President Donald J. Trump to thank for that. He gave me 3 shout-outs. I spoke at 2 of the rallies. I led the pledge. It was incredible. And we know that he won. So he pushed a lot of us over the finish line. I am forever grateful.
She was supposed to explain all of the fraud she saw.
We need, a Republican governor, we need a Republican lieutenant governor, and a Republican senator. My friend, Dr. Oz. God bless you.
Wow.
Thank you very much, and great job you've done. So thank you.
Did she explain the fraud she saw? I didn't hear it.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mike. Good job. Thank you, everybody. With the help of many people here tonight, over 4 years, incredible years they were, we stood up for
Donald J. Trump. That was amazing.
history. To protect our workers, I withdrew from the horrible Trans-Pacific Partnership, would have destroyed your businesses. We ended the disaster known as NAFTA, the worst trade deal ever made. We replaced it with the USMCA, that's Mexico and Canada, the best trade deal ever made in our country.
The same thing, got it.
We stood up to China like never before, taking in billions and billions of dollars.
Yeah, is
in
lead
taxes and
poisoning
tariffs.
responsible for some of what we're seeing here? That's an interesting super chat.
Billions, think of it. And we gave, out of all that money, many times more than this number, we gave $28 billion of it to our great farmers. We love our farmers, many in Pennsylvania. And to protect Pennsylvania energy workers, I withdrew from the unfair Paris Climate Accord, a ripoff. I canceled Obama's falsely named Clean Power Plan, which was a disaster. Other than the name of the plan, it was a total disaster. I ended the war on Pennsylvania oil and gas, and I ended the war on clean, beautiful coal. We put our miners back to work. We fought for Pennsylvania, and we won for Pennsylvania. And when we win in this November, this coming midterm, which I think maybe will be the most important in our country's history, we will fight and win for Pennsylvania and our country itself, because our country is in serious trouble. We will win, and we will stop this horrible, horrible onslaught. With a Republican Congress, we must defend parents' rights. No teacher should ever be allowed to teach transgender to our children without parental consent. We will save our kids, and we will also keep men the hell out of women's sports.
And we will ban men.
In addition, we will get critical race theory out of our schools, out of our military, and out of every part of our federal, state, and local governments. I had done that, and then just about in his first day in office, he wrote an executive office ending it, but we had already done that. It was gone, got rid of all of them. One of our highest priorities will be to crack down on left-wing censorship and restore free speech in America. We don't have free speech. We don't have free speech, and we have a totally crooked press, all of them back there. We will immediately terminate Joe Biden's so-called disinformation governing board. How about that one? A chilling and un-American.
I'm hoping that he's winding down.
Allow to stand. Go out and sign up now for, by the way, Truth. I'm so happy to be back on social media. Truth Central. On the Apple App Store, #1 ahead of TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, and all others. #1. Can you believe it? I opened this thing. It's like we have really a great platform, but #1, what a great honor it was to look at that. It's going to be our voice. It's going to be the voice of the people. And by the way, Jason Miller, I want to introduce Jason Miller. He's great friend of mine. He's done a fantastic job. Horrible. And he also has a big voice out there on the social media, wherever he may be. Jason, wherever you are, this big crowd of people, we love you, Jason. Thank you, Jason. Essential. Thank you. I'm glad I remembered to do that. The radical left Democrat Party is not a 50% party within our country. I really believe that. They're against God, guns, oil, law enforcement, voter ID, the Constitution, and the Founding Fathers. Other than that, they're wonderful. The only way they win is to cheat in elections. I really believe that. You can't be against those things and think you're a 50-50 party. We have to restore election integrity in our country. In 2016, we won Pennsylvania by a lot. From that point, 2016 to 2020, Republicans out-registered, because of me to a large extent, Democrats in Pennsylvania. Listen to this, 21-1. That never happened before. We out-registered them 21-1. Which is why on election night, we were up by more than 650,000 votes. It was over. And
that's one of those things where it's like, I've never heard that before. It strikes me as unlikely that Republicans out-registered Democrats 21-1 in any place. But like, I've never heard that. I don't know. Where do you even look that up?
Drop boxes, they're fake. And no private money pouring into local election offices. No more drop boxes. Just like in France, we just had and we got to view a big election that just took place. We should have one-day voting with only paper ballots.
Yeah. Macron defeated Trump light.
Distant military service members, distant if they're not in the country, or people who are very, very sick. It should last one day. What about these elections that last 48 days where they have boxes and boxes and they're in rooms in storage, nobody watching over them, they're being moved all over the place. You say, what's going on? One day, paper ballots. One day election, paper ballots like we used to have. We have a process that nobody trusts, and you can't have a great country if nobody trusts the elections. And
most Americans actually do trust it.
We're just 6 months away from the most important midterm victory in American history, and we need a landslide so big that the radical left cannot rig it or steal it. You know, at a certain point, if you win by enough, they can't rig it, but we're also watching them very closely, more closely than ever before. This is the year we're going to take back the House, we're going to take back the Senate, and we are going to take back America. And in 2024, most importantly, we are going to take back our beautiful White House.
Cutting to the wrap-up, huh?
But first, we have to secure a massive victory for Dr. Oz in this primary. So get your friends, get your family, get everyone you know, and get the hell out to vote for Dr. Oz. You got to do it. I want to thank J.D. Vance for being here, by the way. What a job he did. He's hot now, you know, he's hot. He's a great hot celebrity. Maybe he won't remember me anymore. Maybe he'll say, Trump, oh yeah, he was all right. But he will. He's going to remember all of us because he's going to be around for a long, long time politically, in my opinion, very smart, and he's the one that can win, and he will win. He will win in Ohio. J.D. Vance. Good.
We got to work really hard to make sure Tim Ryan defeats J.D. Vance in Ohio.
The people of Ohio really stepped forward. They did a great job. With a Republican Congress, we will fight for more jobs for Pennsylvania families, fair trade for Pennsylvania workers, and more Pennsylvania factories forging more products stamped with those beautiful words, made in the USA. We will shut down Biden's border disaster, reinstitute our strong Remain in Mexico policy. We will reimpose Title 42, which I understand they're ending. You want to see people come into our country? Knock out Title 42. Strengthen the patriots of ICE and Border Patrol, and we will again end catch and release. We will end chain migration, a disaster. We will end...
Aren't Melania's parents here because of chain migration?
The remaining portion of the wall could have been done in a few weeks. We will stop the Democrat crime wave. We will give our police the power they need and the respect they deserve. And I want to thank the Pennsylvania police for the treatment they've given me. I love the police. They do a great job. They're not given the kind of accolades they should get every single day. It's dangerous work, and they do an incredible job. But we will not take legal protection ever away from them. They want to take legal protection, so if they happen to make a mistake or somebody sues them, they have to protect themselves. That's not going to happen. We will restore law and order in America. We will hold China accountable for unleashing the virus upon the world. We will protect innocent life. We will defend our Constitution, and we will defend the Second Amendment. We will proudly uphold the Judeo-Christian values and principles of our nation's founding. And by the way, very importantly, as you know, during that term, records, almost 300 federal judges and 3 justices of the Supreme Court of the...
He's right about that. That's a major accomplishment for Republicans during Trump's era, and it is thanks to Trump being in office. There's no doubt about that.
Children to love their country, honor our history, and always respect our great American flag. In conclusion, our MAGA movement, Make America Great Again, is by far the greatest political movement in the history of our country, and the fake news can't even challenge it. They can't even think of it. I've said it many times that they've never challenged it because it's the greatest movement in the history of our country, and probably...
It's too dumb to challenge.
Together we are standing up and against some of the most menacing forces, entrenched interests, and vicious opponents our people have ever seen. Despite great outside dangers, and we do have tremendous outside dangers, and right now more than ever before, because our so-called leaders, I say so-called, they don't know what the hell they're doing or how to deal with it. But despite that, our biggest threat remains the sick, sinister, demented, and evil people that we have from within. But no matter how big or powerful these corrupt radicals may be, you must never forget, this nation does not belong to them. This nation belongs to you.
Right.
Belongs to you. Unbelievable weather. I want to thank me too, you know, because I said I could have hey Oz, I could have had a great out. I could have had, and by the way, your wife is so incredible. You're going to get a great first lady in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. You're going to get a first lady. I know her well. She's incredible. And does she love her family, her husband, and her family? So thank you very much for being here and standing, especially the first lady. Standing with us. Thank you very much. This is your home. This is your heritage, and our American liberty is your God-given right.
His use of heritage is a little bit concerning.
To Erie, from Harrisburg to Pittsburgh, and right here in Greensburg, we stand on the shoulders of American legends who poured out their blood, sweat, and tears for our rights and for our freedom. Pennsylvania is the Commonwealth where our founding fathers declared American energy independence. Think of that. You were the first ones many, many, many years ago. Who would think where we are? We had it done a year and a half ago, and today we're begging for energy. We're begging enemies for energy. It's where the Army weathered its brutal winter at Valley Forge, where General George Washington led his men in a daring mission across to Delaware.
Oh, no.
And where our Union was saved by the immortal heroes at Gettysburg. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. One of the most vicious battles in history and one of the most beautiful places on earth. Isn't that interesting?
The crowd is dead.
And this is the state where generations of tough, strong Pennsylvania miners, factory workers, and steel workers forged the greatest nation in the history of the world.
At least he didn't read that stupid poem, The Snake.
Who built this country, and it is the hard-working patriots like you who are going to save our country from what's happening right now. We will stand up to the radical left lunatics and the rhinos, and we will fight for America like no one has ever fought for a country before. There is no mountain we cannot climb. There is no summit we cannot reach. There is no challenge we cannot meet. There is no victory we cannot have. We will not bend. We will not break. We will not yield. We will never give in. We will never give up. We will never, ever, ever, ever back down. As long as
Trump at roughly the 73-minute mark right now.
We do not stand even a small chance of victory, because we are Americans, and Americans kneel to God and to God alone. My fellow citizens, this incredible journey we are on together has only just begun. It's just begun. And Oz is going to help us to have it keep going. Oz is going to help us. And it's time to start talking about greatness for our country again. We don't do that. We don't do that. We don't talk about greatness anymore. We talk about everything else. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. So with the help of everyone here today and citizens all across our land,
it really is a cult.
America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, Pennsylvania. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So now the really vile dancing is happening. Wow. Well, if you suffered through all 75 minutes of it, congratulations, folks. You just won the election. I don't know how else to say it, quite frankly. Oh, is the mix not okay? Am I too not loud enough? Blacks for Trump with a presence here. Just off screen, seemingly. Let me know if this week there are various debates and things related to 2022. I try to plan ahead, and when I know about it ahead of time, we'll publish it ahead of time. But if you know of any important 2022 debates and events this week, please do email in info@davidpakman.com. We'll get it on the calendar so everybody knows I'll be streaming. Okay, so yeah, there's Trump. Wow. I believe there is no Johnny Depp trial this coming week. I think they're off for a week for whatever reason. Don't really know why, but. All right, so there goes President Trump, the failed former president. Bit of a different apparel today. Yeah. It's weird. It's a weird country. All right. Well, there he goes. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate everybody joining me today. I don't know what we learned other than the cult is strong. And what else did we learn? People in chat, what can you tell me? Can anybody please tell me we learned something? We're not in a good place. That's true. We learned about Donald Trump, that we're screwed. That they think they own this country. That's fair. We didn't learn anything. Oh, okay. Jeez, that's tragic. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining me. We will see everybody soon, before you know it.